and Derek Morton, the wide receiver, and A.J. Bennett, a wide receiver.
Yeah, and again, when you're talking about losing top wide receivers, I mean, that is tough. I mean, your offense is predicated on your skilled players and their strike ability. When you lose those guys, I mean, it makes it tough. So we'll see how they adapt today.
Jace Wilson at quarterback starts the game off with a handoff to Owens inside, and Owens is going to pick up close to 5 yards on the first carry of the ball game. When you think about Ladarius Owens, 949 yards rushing, we mentioned at the top that that's good enough to lead the SWAC. He had 5 touchdowns on the year for the young man from Manville, Texas, Manville High School in Texas. And Owens this time, short gain on the play as that Jackson State defense. By the way, they're wearing the black jerseys for Jackson State. They got a blackout going on today at the stadium. They're wearing the black jerseys with the white helmets.
Yeah, it looks good, looks solid. I mean, you know, teams always get pumped up about blackouts. It's just kind of a uniform, gives them an edge, makes them feel a little bit dangerous and stuff. So we'll see how that carries on to their personality of the game.
If you look good, you play good, my friend.
There you go.
3rd and 4 coming up for the TSU Tigers. We're just underway. Jace Wilson has to scramble out of the pocket. He's going to keep it, and he has a first down for the TSU Tigers. So on their first possession, TSU is able to convert and get the first down to keep the drive alive.
Yeah, and I'd like to see Chase will be on a little bit more around that edge, some rollouts, give him some opportunities to either run or pass. They have to be dangerous, and they certainly can't be predictable because that Jackson State defensive line, that interior, they are stout.
Ball resting at about the 36-yard line now. Wilson has to scoop it up, and that pass is going to be blocked down by that big Jackson State defense.
Yeah, I think that was Philip Webb on the D-line there, and he looked like he thought he should have intercepted it. I mean, usually just happy to knock it down. I mean, he looked like he was looking and saying, hey, man, I think I should have caught that one.
Philip Webb is having an outstanding year. He's a transfer from LSU. 5.5 tackles for loss so far this season. So call it 2nd and 10 for the TSU Tigers. They go to a strong formation to the right side. They set Owens up on the left. Wilson to pass it again. Downfield, and it's going to be incomplete, but there's a flag down. There was contact on the play, and Hughes is saying, looks like he may be the guilty party for Jackson State, Jalen Hughes.
Hughes is saying, don't believe the flag. Don't believe the flag. That was good. It was tight coverage for sure.
That was our referee, Y.N. Myers, to confirm the pass interference.
Yeah, let's take a look at it right. Yeah, no doubt about it. He jumps into him before the ball ever gets there, and he's acting like, no.
He was trying to hit Quay Davis on that pass down the field, so that takes the Tigers from TSU. They're now over midfield with another 1st and 10 as they put Leary in motion. Jace Wilson throws it deep. He had a man open, and he just was a little too strong on the pass. But Ian Means had cleared in the secondary, and he was all by himself, and Wilson just missed it.
I'll tell you, that's, something for Texas Southern. You can't miss a play that you have the opportunity. And again, it sounds simple, but you're going to get a few opportunities. You just can't miss those. You've got to make the big play. You've got to expose a weakness and score quickly. Long drives are just too hard to do, right? 8 to 10, 12-play drives are hard.
So Wilson in the backfield. He has Ladarius Owens to his left. 2nd and 10 for the TSU Tigers. Owens on the carry. And this time, Owens is only going to pick up a couple of yards before he's thrown back. Philip Webb, again, one of the Tigers in on the tackle. Also there, Isaac Peppers, number 13.
Yeah, I tell you, Peppers is everywhere, man. Isaac Peppers, he's one of my favorite guys to watch. Sideline to sideline. He's just everywhere. Not necessarily the biggest guy in the world, but he's got more 1-2 than anybody we've seen, really, getting to the ball. He is something else. 2 sacks, 11.5 tackles for loss this season. He's an animal.
So here's a big 3rd and 8 for the TSU Tigers. Wilson under pressure, and he completes the pass. He has it, and it's going to be a big first down as he goes to Leary, and Leary is thrown out of bounds, but he has the first down for the Texas Southern Tigers. So Wilson, under a lot of pressure, cranked back and delivered that one on target to Trenton Leary, who's had to pick up fill in some big shoes at wide receiver.
Wilson knew he was going to get hit right up the middle. He hung in there and delivered the perfect strike to be able to get that big play. That is something else. That'll inspire his team.
Football on the 21-yard line now. 1st and 10 for the TSU Tigers. And Wilson will throw it again. Looking for the end zone. Has a man open. Got his foot down, and the official said no. He is ruled out of bounds, so no touchdown for Texas Southern University. Was trying to hit Johnson in the corner, Jaron Johnson, and he just couldn't. He was just a little late with that football.
Yeah, if Wilson could have just pulled the trigger just a little bit faster, and he led him to the outside. Watch this right here. Great catch, and that foot's just on that line. Just couldn't keep it in. But again, if that was delivered just a second earlier, you'd have had a touchdown right there. Great route by Jalen Johnson getting open.
So 2nd and 10 for TSU. Wilson still has it. Throws underneath. A nice catch by Johnson. And he's going to be knocked out of bounds after about 6 yards. But he reached out one hand and pulled that one in.
Yeah, and again, Wilson knew he was going to get hit again. He drilled that ball. He didn't put a whole lot of touch. But you're right, Jalen Johnson kind of, that one-handed catch. But it was coming fast. So that ability to catch and turn.
Jaron Johnson also just, we mentioned before, we talk about this young man. It's incredible. He's missed the last 2 years of football. Came back this year, recovered from that injury, and, man, he's been a big contributor to this TSU offense. This time they go to Ja'Cory Howard, and Howard is the big back. They got a little bit of that thunder and lightning going on in the backfield. Howard brings the pack, and then Owens, of course, he brings the flash. He can go right by you in a second.
Yeah, I think the where they're going to find most success is a little bit where they were running there, a little off tackle. I think when they try to go dead center up the center and the guards, I don't think there's a whole lot of room for them in there. We'll see if they keep attacking on the tackles on the outside.
27-yard field goal.
So now the field goal attempt will come out after he did not pick up the first down. That will be Gustavo Romero. It's a 27-yard attempt, and Romero's kick is good. Let's see. No, it's no good. Wow. So Gustavo Romero, Tigers have been from TSU have having all kinds of trouble with their kickers. That will go down as a miss. We're going to take a timeout now. No score here in Jackson. We'll be right back.
iPhone 15 Pro for your husband. iPhone 15 Pro.
Carolers, to tell me you want a new iPhone, a better plan's Verizon.
No way they take this wreck.
Yes, they will, and you'll get iPhone 15 Pro and Apple TV 4K and Apple One, all three on them.
Do that.
We tried to tell him, but he paid us a lot.
It was a lot.
This holiday, turn any iPhone in any condition into a new iPhone 15 Pro with titanium, Apple TV 4K, and 6 months of Apple One. All three on us. It's holiday every day with Verizon.
There he is. It's right there.
Cover more ground in the Kia Sportage Turbo Hybrid. Kia, movement that inspires.
This is Carl. He never really thought much of his credit scores. Well, until he got Credit Karma and used his scores to move on up. By putting in the work to improve his scores, he got access to a better credit card. And that sofa she liked. Ooh, is that Saffron Sunrise? And when it came time to buy a home of his own, Credit Karma helped him take things to the next level. Just in time. Intuit Credit Karma. Download the Money app where your hard work pays off.
I just found the biggest weight loss hack.
How many times have you heard someone like me say something like that? The truth is there is no quick fix. But there is a more effective way to lose weight, and it isn't what you think. It's not this, or this, or this. It's actually Noom. It's 2 times more effective than doing it on your own. That's like double. With daily lesson plans, food logging, and some other amazing tools, you've got the support system you need to help you reach your goal weight, whatever that is. Get started right now by taking the Noom quiz.
At Cracker Barrel, 'tis the season for holiday traditions and cinnamon rolls turned pie. Our cinnamon roll pie breakfast is warm, gooey, glazed, and starts at just $8.99. And try our turkey, crispy, country fried, and smothered with...
Welcome back, everyone. Butch Alcindor along with Jorge Vargas. Let's check out our impact players brought to you by GM.
Yeah, on the TSU side, Jace Wilson, he's already shown he's made an impact early on the defensive side of the ball. We'll see later. Jacob Williams, he is a tackling machine for sure. For Jackson State, Desmond Moultrie, expect him and running back to make. They got three-headed monsters at running back. They can certainly get some stuff done. We expect him to lead the way. And Antonio Doyle Jr., he is getting better and better as this season gets rolling on the defensive side of the ball at linebacker coming off that edge.
Those were your impact players brought to you today by GM. And if you take a look, we've already seen Jace Wilson. He had an impact there, although he did miss 2 possible touchdown passes on the first possession of the game for the TSU Tigers. And then that led, of course, to the missed field goal. So that's where we are right now at no score with 10:37 to go left here in the first quarter. And as you can see, we still have a timeout down on the field as the Tigers are waiting. But TSU was very impressive on that first drive. Extremely impressive.
Yeah, and again, that shows me their game plan was solid. They know exactly how they wanted to attack. And again, they had some players step up. I think Wilson actually had a fantastic drive there. There were 3 passes that he connected on solid with someone in his face and then someone he knew was going to be in his face as he delivered the ball, and he was still accurate. So that shows good for Texas Southern as they move forward.
So the Tigers from Jackson State will now go on offense. You will notice they are in the black jerseys with the white helmets, black jerseys, black pants as they come out on their blackout day. And they have Jacobian Morgan at quarterback. He will throw on first down or try to. He has to squeeze out of the pocket, and then he's caught from behind. A big play right there by Jacob Williams, the outstanding linebacker from Texas Southern University. Came into the game with 77 tackles, make it 78.
Yeah, he is special, no doubt about that. We just talked about him. 7.5 sacks this season already. He is a guy that loves to tackle behind the line of scrimmage, and I think he got above the line of scrimmage there by a yard, but he was close.
So call it a yard on the play for Jackson State on first down. Morgan making his 3rd start of the year at quarterback. Now he's going to keep it. And he's not going to go anywhere there. Good reactions right there by that Tigers from Texas Southern on defense. Javius Williams, number 24, helping out with that tackle.
Big Michael Akins, number 9 as well, in there in the center, just kind of putting a stop to things up that middle, and that's important. If he can do that in this game, that will help them direct, and they'll know where that ball is going to go. But if he plays solid in that middle, that's important for them.
So Jackson State now on 3rd down. Let's call it 3rd and 7. They put 7 McGee in motion. And Morgan will throw it. Fires a strike. It's going to be caught. And that's going to be the first down for Jackson State. But there was a flag thrown down in the backfield.
Yeah, it looks like
7 McGee on the catch for the Tigers from Jackson State.
7 McGee having some kind words, it looks like, for Javius Williams. They're having a pleasant conversation, I'm sure.
So they're going to back up the Tigers from JSU here. So the first down will come off the boards, off the books. And that's going to back them up. A holding call against the Tigers from Jackson State. So that's the first key penalty, which will take a first down away from Jackson State.
Yeah, and that's important too. But I want you to keep an eye on, I think this game, Veramontez Pippins, big number 0, big defensive tackle coming off the edge. He is so powerful. I expect him to have a big impact in this game as well.
Desmond Moultrie in the backfield. Of course, he's replacing Irv Mulligan, who's been injured the last 3 weeks. So this is Morgan. He's looking to throw it under some heat, and Morgan's going to be caught and dropped. So the TSU Tigers continue to bring that pressure in the backfield. Michael Akins, one of the Tigers back there to get the stop on Morgan.
Well, Michael Akins already getting, and again, really what that is staying active and not giving up. Look at him. He fought to get to the back, and then he comes, and they all, really 3 people collide on him at the edge. Jacob Williams, Pippins, and Akins.
They're going to back him up a little more now for 5 yards penalty. And so make it 4th and 15, and the Tigers from Jackson State will have to punt the football away. Matt Knoll on to kick it away to the TSU Tigers. Good kick. Gets a bounce, and it's going to settle in. And the Tigers will go back on offense when we come back. No score here. We're going to take a timeout and be back with more. 8:06 to go in the first quarter.
Every year, Thousands of athletes disappear in clutch moments due to falling hydration levels. Get yourself back in the game. Get yourself a Gatorade. Rehydrate, replenish, refuel.
We are exactly what you think. We are not at all what you think. We are past, present, and future, all in one. Because the best way to honor our history is to make history. General Motors, honored to sponsor the Southwestern Athletic Conference.
Doritos created Solid Black in 2021 to help fuel the years of black leaders seeking to drive real change. Like Alvin Irby and his vision to spread litter. Or Marvin Pierre, who's empowering our youth with skills that bridge the opportunity gap. Or Jessica Johnson, whose education and dreams helps make college a reality. And many more. Check out their stories and help shape change. We are Solid Black. Join us and try another angle.
Huge play coming up.
Talking about dropping the ball.
I got the score.
Tostitos Hardy Dippers.
In 1920, an athletic league was formed and slowly became one of the leading sports associations in the world of collegiate athletics, the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Today, the SWAC is looking towards the next century, growing, supporting, and transforming our intercollegiate sports activities for student athletes and promoting academic excellence. Each SWAC member institution represents a high level of integrity and sportsmanship. We are the SWAC, building champions for life.
SWAC football. Pepsi, official partner of the Southwestern Athletic Conference, and by GM, proud sponsor of the SWAC. The TSU Tigers getting set to go on offense now for the second time in this ball game. And while we have a chance, let's check out the keys to the game for the TSU Tigers as they get ready to take over their second possession. It's brought to you by GM.
Yeah, that looks like Jackson State. Don't sleep on the Texas Southern and have a strong running attack. That's the Jackson State. But let's talk about TSU. They convert on red zone. That's what they need to do. When they get the red zone, they had to convert. They had to settle for a field goal a minute ago. Hang on to the ball. You can't turn the ball over, and they have to control the Jackson State run game.
So on first down, Jace Wilson pass is tipped, and it's going to be intercepted by the Tigers from Jackson State. That pass was tipped up in the air, tipped twice, and then the Tigers came away with the football. It's number 90, True Thompson, the big defensive lineman, a lineman's dream as he picked that ball right out of midair.
Yeah, that's a big presence there, and I just said, keys to the game, hang on to the ball, don't turn it over, and that's exactly what you see. A big mid touches the ball, then your receiver, 7, just can't hold on to the ball, and there you go, you have a turnover. Jarn Johnson just couldn't bring it in, and Jackson State winds up with the recovery, and they have the ball in great field position as well.
True Thompson is one of the guys head coach T.C. Taylor pointed out in our call this week, said he's been doing an outstanding job. 2.5 sacks on the year, and he comes up with a big interception, the transfer from Florida State. So the Tigers from Jackson State go on offense, 1st and 10. And Morgan's looking to air it out. Throws it underneath to 7 McGee, and he cannot slip away from that first tackler. That is Perry Wells on the stop for Texas Southern University. But a nice gain on first down.
Yeah, and that's big for Jackson State because, that first drive, they looked a little bit lethargic. They didn't have energy. You get that turnover, and you can already see their body language on the field look a lot more aggressive, and the play calling's following.
Morgan with a completion. This time, the Tigers from Texas Southern react quickly, and it's a short gain to Fabian McCray as he couldn't get going on that play. That's going to bring up 3rd down. So the second possession for the Tigers from Jackson State, and this one after the turnover, they have it on the TSU side of the 50-yard line. So 3rd and 3. This is a big down for this team as they would love to convert and continue to drive. So Morgan puts McGee in motion. He hands through. He's going to pass it underneath to his big tight end, Stevens, and he looks like he's going to be short. I mean, he got right up to the sticks. It's really going to depend on the spot. But a nice fake by Morgan, and then he completes the pass to DJ Stevens.
And that stick brought to you by JVS Williams. My gosh, that's a big tight end, and when he got up to him, he just stuck him and dropped him.
They are going to give him the first down, so it will be a first down, despite the good tackle by JVS Williams. It will be a first down for the Tigers from Jackson State.
Probably by the hair of the chinny chin chin, right?
They'll take it any way it comes. So now we have J.D. Martin in the backfield, and Martin's going to run it. And Martin's still on his feet. And what a big run by J.D. Martin. And again, we saw him last week. He's missed most of the year. He played in the first game, missed everything else. He's back from that toe injury, and he looks good.
Yeah, he looked strong last week. And, I mean, that run right there was he's not that big a guy, but he shows a lot of power.
The give is to Morton again, and this time he's smacked down in the backfield by Jacob Williams, the big linebacker for Texas Southern University. You know, he's only kind of like average size. He's not really big, but boy, is he active and can make the plays.
Yeah, 6'1", 205 for a linebacker like that plays so. And again, you talk about a form tackle right there. Comes off the edge, gets his head across the bow, as you call it, and then just explodes into the tackle.
Loss of 2 on the play. Let's call it 2nd and 12. And we have one of the TSU Tigers. They're offsides. And the pass from Morgan near the sideline, and it is caught to his wide receiver there, number 19, Kobe Paul. And we will see if they let the play go.
Yeah, Viramontes Pippins.
There's the call from Y.N. Myers, and the play will stand. The completed pass to Kobe Paul for a first down.
Yeah, watch Viramontes Pippins there on the bottom left there, your screen. He steps over, and Big Zero ain't going to hide. When he starts moving, people notice. What a catch right there.
So now Jackson State knocking on the door. Ball is resting at about the 8-yard line. J.D. Martin still in the backfield behind Jacoby and Morgan. And now we're going to have a timeout called by Jackson State. So they want to talk about this a little bit before, with the ball resting right there on the 7-yard line.
Yeah, it's a pretty good strategy right here, right? I mean, you've kind of came out weird. You got yourself a turnover. You want to make sure you cash in on this. You want to make sure, you know, TSU was not able to cash in on their drive deep in the inside the 20.
Let's turn now to the keys of the game for the Texas Southern Tigers.
Oh, there it is. There we got convert in the red zone, and that's exactly what they have to do. They didn't do earlier. They didn't get a field goal. They weren't able to get a touchdown, and they have to hang on the ball. And, of course, we saw that interception. You can't give the ball away, period, and then you got to control Jackson State's run game. And the first drive, they sure did. They controlled it, but you can see JD got a little gas going there, which opened up some passing game.
The keys brought to you by GM and then for Jackson State.
Yeah, don't sleep on Texas Southern. And really, you know, you saw them early not come out with the same aggression they needed to, and that's exactly what they need to have. Texas Southern can play strong running attacks. They keep that up and then keep the heat on Jace Williams defensively.
Your keys to the game brought to you by GM. So now we pick it up with the Jackson State Tigers. Football on the 7-yard line. 4:57 to go here in the first quarter, and the Tigers with their first serious threat of the ball game. Kobe Paul in motion. Morgan rolls to his right, looking in the end zone, and he throws it, and he just threw that one away. Good coverage by the Texas Southern secondary.
Yeah, and that shows some really good maturity by Morgan, just to say, hey, look, the play didn't work. We didn't really have an avenue. I'm going to make sure I throw it away. We're first down. Let's not make a big mistake here.
One of the things Clarence McKinney told us this week was they had to do a good job on Morgan. They had to do a good job containing him, staying in their lanes, making him stay inside. That time, even though he rolled, he had nowhere to go, and they did good coverage in the end zone.
Yeah, the defensive line just worked right down the line of scrimmage.
And so now the penalty called on the field, and it will stay second down for Jackson State. So that was Y.N. Myers. And you see Morgan looking over to the sideline now as he wants to get back and make something happen here. 2nd and goal for the Tigers from Jackson State. Faked it to And it's going to be Morgan on the keeper, and he got it down near the goal line. And now this is a touchdown. It's a touchdown for Jackson State. Jacoby and Morgan on the carry, and he takes it in for the touchdown, and he does his Cam Newton right there.
I'll tell you what, he just went storming in there. Good job by the offensive line. Good play call. And again, Morgan, before he was starting, he would come in on these goal line packages and show his ability to run and use his physicality. And right there, great job of just kind of sniffing that end zone and saying, I'm coming in.
So the point after attempt coming up by Dylan Wasson. As Jackson State gets on the scoreboard first.
All this pause kind of freezing your own kicker out here. Just kind of, they get set, they want to kick.
So we're ready to go on the field, and the extra point attempt coming up by Dylan Wasson. And it's up and it's good this time, so Jackson State jumping out to a 7-0 lead. We'll be right back.
The score, Tigers of Jackson State 7, Texas Southern.
And you're watching the Ocean of Soul there in Jackson, Mississippi, as Jackson State has taken a 7-0 lead over Texas Southern University. And, of course, that drive was Jacoby and Morgan taking it in for the touchdown from 7 yards out. And it all came after a tip pass was intercepted by Jackson State.
And, again, that's huge. When you get turnovers and you turn them into 7, that's when it gets hard for like Texas Southern to be able to give up 7 and then be able to compete. They can't do that. The rest of this game, they're going to have to play clean, and they're going to have to really attack and make sure they don't turn the ball over in any way, whether it's a fumble, an interception, and then really right now they've got to get to. They've got to go find a way to steal a possession, and really a possession that's in great field position to shorten the field for their offense.
Yeah, TSU came into this game with a 2-6 overall record, 1-4 in SWAC play. Jackson State 6-3 overall, 4-2 in SWAC. But TC Taylor made it very clear to his team. He said, you can't sleep on this team from Texas Southern. They have some talent, and we saw it on the first drive. Jace Wilson had a couple of guys open that could have been touchdowns, but they didn't connect.
Yeah, I mean, and it's about execution, right? Being able to find a way to keep the execution level up. And that's always hard. People are like, oh, well, we see them do good for a minute and then they, have some issues. Well, you just got to keep the consistency, and you got to keep buying in, and every player's just got to keep their mindset. And right now, you're down 7-0. So, I mean, Texas Southern's just got to keep their wits about them and really stick with their game plan.
So the kick from Wasson is deep, and it's going to be out of bounds, and that will be a flag. So Texas Southern University will get that penalty tacked on, so they'll start in excellent field position behind Jace Wilson, the 5'11", 175-pound sophomore from Missouri City, Texas. He's actually a transfer from Furman, and there's Wyan Myers confirming the penalty, but the ball went out of bounds. We all saw it. Yep. So 1st and 10 for the Tigers. I mean, what do you think TSU needs to do right here early in this game not to let this thing get too far away?
I think they need to stay aggressive and attack. And then you got to get Owens the ball quickly to the outside.
TSU with a strong set on the left side. They're going to give it to Owens, and he goes over the right side. It's going to pick up about 3 yards on the carry, does Ladarius Owens.
With the carry. Yeah, I think right outside that tackle, that's where they're going to be able to make their money. If they try to go right up behind the center, I don't see it. Jackson State's just too tough in the middle.
TSU goes quickly from the line of scrimmage. Waste. Wilson passes, completes his pass. He has Ian Means, and that's a first down for the Tigers from Texas Southern University. So they moved it well on that first possession. So it's just last time you had the tip pass interception. That'll kill the drive.
Yeah, correct. And look right here, puts it perfectly on him to be able to turn and take it up. And again, a catchable ball is so important for quarterbacks to throw.
Tigers again on the fake. Wilson rolls to his right. He's being chased. And Wilson just unloads and throws it out of bounds. He just had no other choice at that point.
And that's what Wilson has to do in this game. If the play's not there, throw it away. You can't take negative plays. And again, if you're running, guys get too tight to you, they can knock that ball out of your hands, then you're turning the ball over.
He still has Ladarius Owens in the backfield, who's the leading rusher in the SWAC. And this guy's had an incredible year. His coach told us this year, he said, I think he can play on the next level. He just has to get the right opportunity. So 2nd and 10 for the TSU offense. And they're going to go to Owens. And Owens has nowhere to go as he's met in the backfield by the Tigers from Jackson State. Keidrian Colligan, one of the guys back there making a big stop.
Yeah, they try to go up that middle and that gut. I'm telling you, there's not a lot of room up in there. I have a lot of faith in Owens, but I'm telling you, you can't run over 2 and 3 people.
That Jackson State defense has been so good this season. I mean, they have really been tough, and they've done a great job of forcing those turnovers, and they already have one in this game. 3rd and 11 for Texas Southern. Jace Wilson has to roll to his right, trying to send the receiver downfield, and he's caught and dropped. It's going to be a sack on the play by the big defense. That is Khalil Arrington, who got in the backfield and dropped Wilson.
What a way to just stay on it, right? I mean, they just keep pressing. And watch him. He's not going to let him get rid of that ball. He gets there before he can throw it away. Great job.
So the Tigers from TSU with 2:38 to go here in the first quarter will have to punt the football away. So that will bring on Patrick Helen to kick it away. Good snap. He gets it off. And it's going to be picked up at the 10. And not much of a return. Maybe out to the 13-yard line is Seven McGee on the return.
And again, that was a pinpoint kind of punt, right? You got the distance you were looking for, and you put it so far on the sidelines. Your special teams was able to kind of corner him where he had nowhere to go. So that's a successful special teams attempt right there, getting it deep enough and giving Seven no options.
That was actually Christian Avalar on the punt. So the Tigers are actually using 2 different kickers this week. They're using Gustavo Romero to handle the field goals and the kickoffs, and now Christian Avalar is in to handle the punting duties for this game. But it's back to offense for the Tigers from Jackson State. Jacoby and Morgan, the big 6'4", 230-pounder, gives it off to Martin. Martin spins away. He is just a tough guy to bring down. The first guy never takes him down.
No, I like his style of running. And again, he's 6'1", 195. Doesn't look that menacing, but man, he runs strong and he certainly is fast and cuts really quick.
So on second down, he goes back to Morgan, and Morgan has a big hole. It looked like that play was designed to go inside. Morgan saw the hole on the outside. He just bounced it and picked up the first down.
Yeah, sometimes your defensive linemen follow their keys, which means when a guy blocks a certain way, you head against it, right? Well, everyone just slammed them all down inside, opened up the right side.
1st and 10 for the Tigers from Jackson State. You can see Morgan and Martin's numbers. 198 yards rushing. Morgan will pass this one, throws it out to Kobe Paul, and what a shot. Paul is hit hard and dropped by Ja'Cory Benjamin for the TSU Tigers.
Well, Benjamin's fired up. Again, that was a good hit, good stop.
2nd down, Tigers.
He just came flying up there and stuck him hard.
That's how you say hello, and you get the attention. So 2nd and 6, did pick up 4 yards on the play. This time the pitch is to Martin. Great move in the backfield, and he's coming back the other way. Martin with a lot of room in front of him. He's got one man to beat, and Martin is going to be dropped down at the 30-yard line. But what a great run by J.D. Martin for Jackson State.
Boy, he just absolutely shook someone out of their shoes in the backfield. Didn't catch the number, but my God. Watch right here. He is dead to right. Fakes it to the left. 2 moves right there. And again, then he just accelerates. It goes right out. And again, look at the blocking downfield. And that's a great Calvin Henderson with a saving touchdown tackle.
Yeah, Michael Akins had him in the backfield, but he caught air. So Moultrie checks in now. Morgan will pass it to Moultrie. Moultrie has some room on the outside, and he has another first down for Jackson State.
Complete to Moultrie.
So Desmond Moultrie now getting into the action.
And I think what's good about what Jackson State's doing here, they just keep applying the gas, right? Again, they had a window with that interception that gave them a spark, and now their offense is rolling. They're going to keep applying the pressure.
Jackson State with the football, and they have the lead also, and the Tigers are on the move. Thanks to this touchdown run by Jacoby and Morgan. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. Jackson State has the lead and the football as we get ready to start the second quarter in Jackson, Mississippi. Jacobian Morgan at quarterback has Desmond Moultrie to his left, fakes it to Moultrie, dumps it underneath to his tight end, and he's going to pick up a short gain on the play. That is Hayden Hagler with the catch. Not much on the play, though. Morgan is just a great story. You know, for those of you who don't know, he went to Syracuse, actually started a couple of games at Syracuse his freshman year, but then decided to come back home. And T.C. Taylor had kept in touch with his family, and it paid off big time. So 2nd and 3 now for Jackson State. Tigers again threatening to score. Morgan turns, hands it inside to Moultrie, and he's going to just push the pile forward there before he's pulled back. So Moultrie getting some tough yards inside.
Jackson State, I mean, Herb Mulligan's not playing today, but man, they got, when Mulligan's healthy, they got Mulligan, J.D. Martin, and Desmond Moultrie. That's a threesome in that backfield that is special.
So he did pick up the first down, a very special backfield indeed. First down by Moultrie, so the Tigers from Jackson State with a 1st and goal to go. Morgan turns, he gives inside to Moultrie again, and once again, that big surge from the offensive line, he takes it all the way down to the 2-yard line.
Yeah, I said they were, they just came right at him and punched him in the mouth, literally right there. They just said, we're coming. Big number 74 leading the way for Jackson State.
It is marked back on the 3. Ball is loose, bad snap. Morgan picks it up, tries to get around the outside, and he's dropped into the backfield. So a big play by the TSU Tigers.
Nice job recovering there, picking up that ball. Could have been a whole lot worse.
Canary Simmons on the stop in the backfield.
Yeah, he showed acceleration there. Good tackle. It's a big play now here.
12:55 to go. We're just underway here in the second quarter, and Jackson State trying to cash it in as they send in Ahmad Miller into the backfield. Jorge was just talking about that 3-headed backfield, how they have confidence in all 3 of the backs, and now Miller will get his shot in the backfield.
Bring on the 4th, right? I think they said, hey, you forgot about Ahmad Miller. We're going to show you we got 4 talented backs.
Now we have a timeout on the field, so they want to talk about it a little bit. But just to finish up on Jacobian Morgan, Coach T.C. Taylor told us, he said, I recruited him. I recruited the heck out of him out of high school, and then Syracuse swoops in, and they stole him. But he said, you know what? I stayed in touch with the family, and it paid off.
That's where real relationships matter at the end of the day, right? People can tell when you're just hunting for something, but you really take true interest in someone, and then over the course of the time, that thing that looks so flattering isn't quite as flattering as you liked it, and you're like, you know what? I believed in that man early in my game that was trying to get me to go there. I'm going to head back over there. And so that shows you what kind of coach and what kind of man T.C. Taylor is, that you've got a guy with a lot of people wanted him, had a lot of options, and Morgan said, you know what, I'm going to go play for Coach T.C. Taylor.
Morgan had hand surgery earlier this year, kind of put him behind a little bit. And the reason why he's probably only started 3 games so far this year, but he has a big down coming up right now. 2nd down for the Tigers from Jackson State after the loss on the play. Football back to around the 9. Morgan to pass. Under pressure, he loses the ball. That's a fumble. And Morgan recovered for Jackson State. So the pressure was on by TSU. Javius Williams in the backfield. He came quick, but the ball just slipped out of Morgan's hands, and there wasn't really a reaction right away.
Yeah, Javius has already been impactful 3-4 times already. We've seen him, and he is just incredibly aggressive. And again, I feel like Morgan was just kind of way too cavalieric about the ball right there and its security, but he hustled to get back to it.
So the Tigers from Jackson State now in front of their home crowd, they're going the wrong way after having a 1st and goal to go. Now the ball is back to about the 18-yard line for 3rd down. So let's call it 3rd and goal from the 18. Morgan will throw it. Shoots it into the end zone, and it's incomplete, but a flag goes down. And the Tigers from TSU, Xavier Player, will be guilty of pass interference in the end zone. and it'll be a first down for Jackson State.
Wow, that appears to be a pretty tough call. Xavier player, 6 foot, 175 graduate from Cibolo, Texas. Played at UTSA.
It's another one of those penalties that just tears your heart out.
Yeah. Yeah, he kept his hand on him the whole time, but they were hand battling earlier. And what he did wrong is he just kept his hand up in his chest the whole time while that ball was being thrown. You just can't do that. But because to me, on the fly, it looked like a good cover.
TSU, you saw on your screen, they are averaging 86 yards worth of penalties per game. So that's a lot of penalties, and that's a tough situation to overcome there. But let's give Jacoby and Morgan a lot of credit for putting that ball up, giving his receiver a chance, because something good can happen. You can get the penalty call. He can come up with a big catch.
Mm-hmm.
So 1st and goal for the Tigers from Jackson State. Morgan's going to throw it. And this one is almost intercepted over there. That was number 8 defending, Ja'Cory Benjamin. And the receiver and the quarterback had a mix-up on that play.
Yeah, and obviously, if Ja'Cory Benjamin really could have gotten his feet together, he'd have had a pick right there. And again, offensively, his receiver did a good job of making sure he couldn't catch that ball. Benjamin could. He played defender there at the very end. Look at this play.
Check out the formation now by Jackson State. And another timeout is called here in the second quarter. So the majority of the second quarter has been spent inside the 10-yard line.
Yeah.
And now they got a timeout to talk about it. So we're going to take a timeout in the booth with Jackson State leading Texas Southern. It's 7-0. We'll be right back.
Give it their all. But when I say player, I don't mean the ones with the ball. I mean the ones that play drums, the brass, the woodwinds. These players bring excitement to the stadium. Because for them, halftime isn't a break. It's game time. Pepsi is a proud supporter of HBCU students. Pepsi and HBCUs. That's what I like.
We are exactly what you think. We are not at all what you think. We are past, present, and future, all in one. Because the best way to honor our history is to make history. General Motors, honored to sponsor the Southwestern Athletic Conference.
Since 1877, Jackson State University has been training students for a life of service and leadership to impact our global society. Ranked among the best HBCUs in the country, Jackson State University offers 47 undergraduate, 37 master's, 1 specialist, and 13 doctoral degree programs. Whether you're interested in the arts, education, public health, the sciences, or business, we're here to take you from ready to JSU ready. Visit jsums.edu and apply today.
In 1920, an athletic league was formed and slowly became one of the leading sports associations in the world of collegiate athletics, the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Today, the SWAC is looking towards the next century, growing, supporting, and transforming our intercollegiate sports activities for student athletes and promoting academic excellence. Each SWAC member institution represents a high level of integrity and sportsmanship. We are the SWAC, building champions for life.
Welcome back, everyone. As you see the Tigers right there, this is actually Tigers versus the Tigers. Jackson State with the football now again inside the 10, trying to push it over the goal line. This has been an 11-play drive so far. It's covered 69 yards. And so far for Jackson State, they've had it 2 minutes and 30 seconds as they try to get the football into the end zone on the drive. Morgan, 3 of 4 for 23 yards. They've also rushed for 54 yards on 6 carries. And you just got to like those kids. Look at that. The Tigers, what do you call that, a Tiger pack?
Yeah, I guess.
Some Cubs, right?
Yeah, you got the Cubs.
Yeah, you got the Cubs there with the Tigers.
But they're a pack. I think they're a pack, right?
That's cute at that age, man. So check out the formation now for Jackson State. And TSU trying to adjust. They have completely spread the field out, and now they're going to go back to a more conventional set. Morgan still at quarterback. Fakes the handoff, passes on the outside, and it's a touchdown to Seven McGee. Boy, that was almost picked off by the Tigers. Instead, Seven McGee has it, and he's in the end zone for a touchdown.
Wow. I really honestly thought that was going to be a pick six going the other way. And for that brief moment, I'm sure every Jackson State fan was like, oh no, yes, right? Right here, you see him break on the ball. It just could not get there.
It was Perry Wells, but I don't know how he didn't catch that football.
Yeah. He just didn't have his hands in the right situation there. I mean, that's why he's a defensive back. He's from Houston, out of North Shore, and he didn't get it done there.
So the touchdown pass is Jacoby and Morgan to Seven McGee, and the Jackson State Tigers now lead this one 14-0. We'll be right back with 11:41 to go in the second quarter. And there's a very happy T.C. Taylor on the sidelines for Jackson State because they are at home and his team has a 14-0 lead in this ball game. We still got a lot to go here in the second quarter.
Yeah, one thing he did talk about is really playing better at home. Right? He wanted his team to have the same energy they have when they're on the road. They get kind of an edge or a swagger on the road. Hadn't really had it at home. Again, started off slow, and I think that interception really was the spark that got the team going and got the energy level up.
So the kickoff will be through the end zone, and the TSU Tigers will take it and go back on offense again. And, you know, we've seen them do some really nice things so far in this ball game. They've been able to move the football. They've just not been able to sustain the drive or really cash it in.
Yeah, we talked on the beginning of this game about them feeling snake bitten, right? That they do a lot of good things and then they just have the mistake that's hard to overcome. And it's very interesting to see how they're going to perform. They played well. They just have to focus on what they're doing right. If they start to get that negative, what's next is going to happen, they can't happen.
The Tigers averaging 362 yards per game in the SWAC, so they're actually moving the football. They're just not getting it into the end zone when they really need to. So they go 1st and 10. Wilson keeps it around the left side, and Wilson has a lot of room. So Jace Wilson with a great fake inside, pulled it out, and he's going to pick up a first down for the TSU Tigers.
You know, there's a point where someone says, I'll do it myself, right?
just a great fake, but you can do that when you have Owens in the backfield.
Sure, because you've got to respect Owens. If they for a moment think Owens isn't going somewhere, then that's going to open up a lot.
TSU averaging 23.8 points a game, and this time they go to Owens straight ahead. He's going to pick up about 6. So a good carry by Ladarius Owens.
And again, that's tough sledding up the middle. I said that's going to be the hardest place for them to gain yards, and they went dead center up the middle and got a good gain there.
Texas Southern.
Make it 2nd and 5 on the play for the TSU Tigers. They trail 14-0. Jace Wilson fires, and he overshoots his man down the sideline. He was just high with that one.
Yeah, he didn't give Charlo a chance at all to come close to touching that ball. But again, if you're going to miss, right, miss high and out.
So that's going to bring up 3rd and 5. So it's a manageable 3rd down situation for the Tigers from Texas Southern.
Got to figure 2 downs for this, right? Don't you think, Butch?
We're closing in on the 10-minute mark, so we'll see what Clarence McKinney decides to do. Wilson will roll to his right. Looking over the middle, and he completes his pass. Nice catch right there by Johnson. And if it's, yes, it is called a catch, so it's going to be a 1st down for Texas Southern. So really Jaron Johnson on the catch for the 1st down.
I really like Jaron Johnson. I feel like he's a guy that just finds a way to make a play, and when that ball touches his hands, he's going to find a way to keep it. And again, that was in tough traffic to make the catch.
Wilson to throw it again. Floats it downfield near the sideline over there. Ball is caught. But let's see what the official says. Now they're going to talk about it.
Not very demonstrative. But.
Yeah, the 2 officials were right there. Quay Davis thinks he's in bounds.
I think he is too.
And he is. They had to have a discussion. It was very close, but a great catch.
Wow, I mean. I think he caught it.
He caught the ball. Did he get that foot down?
I think it's a one-handed catch, and because he just caught it with one, by the time he rolled out, he took that extra step.
Well, the officials are going to talk about it anyway.
Yeah, we can see that again.
So they're going to put on the headset. It was tough to see if that is whether or not he got that 1 foot down. I think it was the right foot. It was hard to see from that angle.
Yeah, I think he did, though. I think as that one hand was up there, as he turned, he had that foot planted on the turn there.
Andrew Votty on the sideline. Of course, he was the starting quarterback when the season began for the TSU Tigers. Let's take another look at that play again.
Right, so right here, ball's up. Boom, one-hand catch. He's got a foot down there, right there. Yeah, he's got a foot. Hang on. Let's look here. Right. You can't really see that back foot if it's in or not. So you're going to have to go with what they called on the field. I do think it's a catch. You're not going to be able to see it from that angle. Wouldn't you say, Butch?
Yeah, I agree with you. It wasn't a good shot of it. You couldn't really see. It wasn't a good picture of it. And it doesn't take Wyan Myers long because he's getting ready to chunk the headsets.
But it looks like T.C. Taylor was kind of excited there, so maybe they're going to say it wasn't a catch.
Well, he's close enough to where he could hear what they were talking about.
Yeah, I know. He looked excited, so maybe I just don't see. It was called a catch on the field. I don't see how that shot for sure can overturn it. And a big play this is.
I'm watching YN on the headset over there, and I tell you what, he works out as much as some of the players. Did you see the guns on YN Myers?
He's lead by example, Butch. That's what that's about. He believes in be about it.
Okay, now he's got the call.
Wow.
So they're going to say he did not get the foot down, and the call is reversed. But what a wheel of an effort by Quay Davis over there.
It sure was, but I just don't know from seeing what we saw, at least anyway, how you overturn it, because you really can't see either one of his feet where they are in regards to the
unless
sideline.
they had another look at it.
Right. They may have had an option angle that we didn't get to see. Anyway, great effort. I love the play call, and I thought Wilson threw it really nice.
Second down for Wilson and the Tigers from TSU. He has 3 wideouts to his left. Ladarius Owens in the backfield also set to his left. Wilson fakes it to Owens and throws underneath, and it's going to be a 2-yard gain to Johnson, making maybe 3 yards on the play.
You know, as much as they spread it out, I feel like if they were to sneak Owens through the line and just pass those linebackers and just dumped it over the top to him, they may have something there.
3rd and 5 with the football resting on the 25-yard line. Wilson under pressure comes back to Johnson, who makes a great catch. Johnson has the first down and more. Still on his feet. Johnson spins, and he's into the end zone, and it's a touchdown for Texas Southern. What an incredible effort by Jaron Johnson there as he takes it into the end zone.
Oh, that was absolutely, but the 3rd great catch we've seen him make today. That wasn't necessarily great touch, but he hands it and spins as he's catching it, and then just flies down the sidelines. And I love that last effort. Watch right here. The ball's kind of drilled at him. One-hand catch, does the turn, sprints, and then right here he says, I'm going to get there. And just does that little spin, reaches out, and no doubt about it, gets the touchdown. Great job.
Yeah, Guthrie hit him around the 4-yard line, and he wasn't going to stop that big fella as Johnson goes 6'4", about 210, took it into the end zone for the Texas Southern touchdown.
Yeah, 25 yards on that one. 7 plays, Butch. How about that?
Nice drive. Covered 75 yards. So a steady, consistent drive from the Texas Southern Tigers this time. And now they'll bring on Gustavo Romero to attempt the extra point. Ian Means will be the holder. He'll put it down on the 10. You may remember Romero missed a field goal earlier in this game. This time his extra point is good. And the TSU Tigers are on the board with 9:13 to go in the first half. Tigers back in at 14-7, though. Jackson State out in front.
HBCUs are anchored by legacy. They nurture the talent and determination of their students and prepare them for a bright future. The Home Depot's Retool Your School program has and still believes in the excellence of HBCUs, committed not just in speech, but through the and upgrades of the campuses these students call home. Building, planting, tilling the dream, all hearts and countless volunteers on the ground. Retool Your School. We're powered by purpose.
Doritos created Solid Black in 2021 to help fuel the as a black leader seeking to drive real change, like Alvin Irby and his vision to spread litter, or Marvin Pierre, who's empowering our youth with skills that bridge the opportunity gap, or Jessica Johnson, whose education and dreams helps make college a reality, and many more. Check out their stories and help shape change. We are Solid Black. Join us and try another angle.
Huge play coming up.
Talking about dropping the ball.
I got the score.
Tostitos Hardy Dippers.
We are exactly what you think. We are not at all what you think. We are past, present, and future, all in one. Because the best way to honor our history is to make history. General Motors, honored to sponsor the Southwestern Athletic Conference.
Every year, thousands of athletes disappear in clutch moments due to falling hydration levels. Get yourself back in the game. Get yourself a Gatorade. Rehydrate, replenish, refuel.
Everyone, Butch Alcindor along with Jorge Vargas with you, and we are watching Jackson State with a 14-7 lead over Texas Southern. Texas Southern, though, fresh off of that touchdown. 7 plays, they covered 75 yards. It took them 2 minutes and 28 seconds before the TD pass went to Johnson in the end zone for the Tigers. And what a play it was. 25 yards, you said, but it was a sensational run. And so far for the game, he's got 4 catches, 49 yards, and that touchdown.
Yeah, and again, he's the other passes he's caught too have been very, good good catches that he's made and made positive plays. So, of course, that last one was the best. That last 4 yards where he did the spin, turn, and jump, that was special.
So the kick sails down at about the 5-yard line, and here come the Tigers from Jackson State on the return. Looks like it's Spencer, and he carries it over the 25 to about the 27-yard line.
That's Xavier Goins there with the tackle there.
On the return for the Tigers.
One thing you can say about the Tigers from TSU, and even today, they've been resilient. I mean, they just will not quit. If you go back to that Southern game last week, we talked to Coach about it during the call. You would think your team would be really despondent about that and stuff, but they came back, had a positive week of practice, and once again, making a few mistakes, but they're playing well.
That's a credit to Coach McKinney keeping that team together, right? I mean, they're doing so many things right. Those few snake bit plays, if you want to call it that, they just got to clean that up.
So Morgan looking to throw, has some big pressure coming. Should have been a hole right in front of him. Wow. Let's see, no flag down on the field, but there was a takedown there. It looked like some WWF stuff going on, but no harm, no foul. So Morgan,
there was harm.
Morgan starts it off with an incomplete pass.
There was harm, just no foul. And you're right, that sure was a takedown there.
And now we have whistles before they can get the snap away, and a timeout is called.
Looks like Texas Southern was trying to get Pippins off the field. Yeah, they had too many men on the field, so they called that timeout so they wouldn't get penalized there for it.
So now they're left with one timeout to go in the first half? They had two before that timeout, according to your math.
Yeah, hey, I've got new math that I roll with. So.
We got 8:55 to go here in the second quarter.
For creative math, maybe we'll call it.
So Jackson State has really done a good job too, and it's amazing how they continue to mix in the different running backs in the backfield. If you're just joining us, Irv Mulligan missing his third consecutive game this week, but they've really done a good job picking up that slack.
Yeah, I mean they've got J.D. Martin, Desmond Moultrie, and then you also have Ahmad Miller that they can put in there, and all of them are dangerous, and so that means you got a stable to pull from. What Jackson State has done already this game, they've capitalized on mistakes.
So Morgan on 2nd and 10 keeps, and he's caught and dropped in the backfield by Michael Akins with a big play. He's been very active on that defensive front for Texas Southern University.
Now look at Akins' pose, right? He did he's some kind of Greek god pose. I don't know what you call that, but look at that right there. Hey!
But he did an excellent. You have to read that. It was the zone read in the backfield, and he stayed home. And that's why he made the play. A lot of times, you'll see that lineman chase down the line. He didn't do that. He stayed home and made a big play.
Yeah, he sure did.
So 3rd and 16 after the loss. Hagler in motion. Pressure again on Morgan, and he has to just flip it near the sideline. And a big stand on this series by that TSU defense.
And it's pressure. I mean, they are just come flying in there. It looks like Akins right there. Looks like his left arm he's kind of favoring as he trucks off the field for that big stop. Hopefully he's okay. But again, big time defense and a lot of pressure. You watch how the movement, the Jackson State offensive line was going backwards on their heels.
So that's Trenton Leary right there, back to return the punt for Texas Southern University. He's 5'9", 170-pounder. Kicks away from Matt Noel. Leary chases it down at about the 26. Leary still on his feet. Crosses the 40. Leary has a hole, and he's just tripped up around midfield, or it looked like he might take that one a long way down the field.
Oh, he's like, man, if I'd have just high-kneed that a little bit, he wouldn't have been able to grab my foot. Right there. Watch this. Good job. And I love that one step right there. He was covered to the outside, so he went just inside that seam. And, yeah, whew, big saving tackle there. Hunter Burns.
Yeah,
Jackson State.
Trenton Leary has done a great job. He's also done a great job at wide receiver. Texas Southern playing without Derek Morton and A.J. Bennett, two of their best wide receivers. And Leary and Quay Davis has had to pick up a lot of that slack, and so far they have. So 1st and 10 for Texas Southern. And they give it to Owens, and Owens slips a tackle. Owens is going to have a first down and more. Call it a gain of 14 on the run by Ladarius Owens.
Man, Quay Davis was downfield blocking like a champ as a receiver. Look at that move right there. Picks up his leg and then just explodes down there. If he'd have gotten by that, he may have been in the end zone.
Ladarius Owens is just so quick. And we do have an injured player on the field. He's being helped off, and now he's going off on his own power. But I need to mention this while we have a second. I need to apologize to Ladarius Owens. I said last week, or a couple of weeks ago, that he was married. He is not married. It's Ja'Cory Howard, who's the married running back at Texas Southern. So, Ladarius, I apologize. And to all the single ladies out there, he's single.
Your hope's alive now?
He's single. I don't know if he's ready to mingle, but he's single. And so if I cost him a couple of dates, I need to apologize for that.
Yeah,
Ladarius single, Ja'Cory Howard married.
Gotcha. Okay, that's good news right there.
Yeah, I had to get that straight. So 1st and 10 for the TSU Tigers, and they go back to the single man who goes straight up the middle, picks up a nice gain again. That offensive line for Texas Southern has had a really good year this year. They've done a great job up front.
They sure have. I mean, and then when you can move backwards the Jackson State D-line, you're doing something. Yeah. I mean, because they are stout at the point of attack.
We're approaching the 7-minute mark now. We're under 7 minutes to go in the first half. Johnson in motion, and Wilson to throw, but he won't get it off. Pressure coming from the Jackson State defensive front. That is True Thompson again. He had an interception earlier in the game, and now he has a sack to go with it.
You know what? When you make plays like that, you can beat your chest strong, because that's something else. Look at him just keep coming. Wow, that's domination right there. He took C.J. Marsh, or right tackle, for a ride to get to the quarterback.
So 3rd and 13 after the sack, and now we have a whistle on the field before they could get the play off.
And see, this is part of that snake bite.
That's a tough one. Looking at the numbers on Owens, 9 attempts for 32 yards. We can expect him to get a lot more carries than that as the game progresses. So now it's 3rd and 18 to go for a first down for the Texas Southern Tigers. Wilson inside to Quay Davis. Davis cuts it back to the outside, and he's going to be stopped about 7 yards shy of that first down. So a good job of moving the ball up, but not enough for the first down. And Quay's saying, you got to let me up, guy.
Yeah, I'm sure there was some extracurricular activity down there on the tackle. Got a little frustrated. But, you know, that play right there was important. I was going to say they needed 7 or 8 yards on that play to give them a 4th down chance if they decide they don't want to punt and they want to try to go for it, where this field positioning is. And you can tell they're discussing, it looks like they're probably going to punt here. But if they were able to get a little bit more.
There was a loss of 8 yards on that sack by True Thompson. So you're right. It was good to move that football up. And even though they couldn't pick up the first down, they put it in a better situation for the punter to come on.
Yeah. And if they were going to go for it, you know, it gave them somewhat of an option there.
So 4th and 7 now. Punt is popped up into the air. It's going to be knocked down inside the 5-yard line. Call it the 4-yard line. So a great job by the Texas Southern Tigers. As the drive stalled, they put the Jackson State Tigers in a big hole. We're going to come back in a little bit. We have 4:47 to go in the first half with Jackson State out in front, 14-7. Jackson State with the football as we come back here in the second quarter. They have a 14-7 lead, but they're deep in their own territory, and they go to the run, and a good spin move by Martin, but he's not going to get much. A 2-yard gain there. Jackson State also leads this series. When you look at the overall series record, 43 wins, 19 losses, and 1 tie go to the Tigers from Jackson State. So they lead it. And, of course, last year we did that game in Houston when they took on Texas Southern, and Jackson State won it 44-14. And there's a completed pass. That's a first down as it goes out to number 9 on the play. That is Fabian McCray as he hauled it in. And you can see the Tigers from JSU picking up the pace now as they hurry to the line of scrimmage.
And again, it's impressive. The last thing they wanted to do was get a 3 and out and have to punt that deep in their end zone. So that first down is really big for them.
That score was 41-14 last year in Houston. So 1st and 10 for Jackson State with the football. Pass goes to 7 McGee. 7 McGee is wide open. It's a foot race now, folks. There's a flag that went down, but 7 McGee broke it. He's at the 20, the 10. McGee is in for the touchdown, but there is a flag down, and he threw it at the feet of one of the receivers blocking downfield for 7 McGee.
You know, and that's probably one of those things where you get hands on them and you get extended, and therefore you basically show the ref I'm holding. What an explosive play, though. Yeah, he's trying to catch his air.
Well, we're always talking about how explosive 7 McGee is and how he can make something happen, and he doesn't need a lot of room, and you saw it right there. It took the little wide receiver screen and that burst of speed, and he was gone.
Well, you know, I know they got called for a hold here, but I'll tell you, that play was really executed well, the timing.
Offense, number 86, 10-yard penalty from the spot of a foul.
Yeah, DJ Stevens with the hold there. And again, the timing of that play, watch how it cuts off. Everything falls into place. He has that great cut there, and right there, 86, you see him. That's the hold. That really kind of sprung it as well, so that's a great call by the officials. But the timing of that play was done really well. You know, you just can't have the hold.
Well, it's a great call because it did impact the play.
Yes.
I mean, there was 7 McGee ran right inside of those two.
Yeah.
So this time it's Morgan on the keeper around the right side, and Morgan's going to put his head down and pick up a nice gain. So Jacoby and Morgan on the carry, but another flag is down on the field.
There's a flag on the play.
Got to wonder if that's some kind of late hit or after the play type. That flag came in really late.
Well, Kobe Paul thought it was on him because he was shaking his head from the beginning.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, targeting, defense.
Targeting? Did I miss something?
Kobe Paul was saying that he got hit in the head. And then the flag went down because Kobe Paul was pointing to his helmet from the very beginning. Let's watch number 19. Or I guess it's on Morgan here. The hit was on Morgan.
Kenari Simmons looks like who they're looking at, that hit from Kenari Simmons. And again, it does look like their heads hit. I don't know if that's a targeting offense.
Yeah, I don't know. Kobe Paul was standing there. He saw the hit to the head, and he was pointing to the head. And so the flag went down right about the same time he started pointing. But that's in the eye of the beholder, some of this stuff. Let's take another look for you.
Yeah, and again, I mean, watch Kenari Simmons. He comes flying down. He gets going, and he hit. I mean, it's helmet. I mean, he hits his helmet with his helmet. I don't know if the veracity's there, but I mean, I could see that being I've seen a whole lot less be called targeting. And I think it's that last part, his head goes down towards the hit. If they're going to maintain this call, I think it's because his head went down at the last minute. But I'll tell you, if this holds up, Jackson State drive already has been very successful. And I think probably their most impressive coming out of their own end zone, with this drive.
Yeah, it was a great punt that had them down in there. near their own goal line, and they came out, and it's actually had a touchdown wiped away, and they're still moving.
Yeah. Yep.
The long touchdown run by Seven McGee was called back because of a hole. And now this play is being reviewed.
I'm torn on what they're going to do here. We'll find out right now.
For unnecessary roughness will be enforced. Automatic first down.
So no targeting, but the unnecessary roughness was enforced on the play.
This first down is sponsored by Pizza Hut.
Yeah, so they go get a 15-yard call.
We're watching Javius Williams right there, who also, he's been playing a fine ball game so far today for Texas Southern University. Either way, it's going to be a first down for Jackson State, and they have the football now resting at the 45-yard line for Jacoby and Morgan and the offense.
And this is exactly what they wanted on this drive, to just get a nice long drive to close out this half.
Now the officials want to talk about something. I'm sure it may be having to do with the spot of the football.
How are they going backwards here?
Unnecessary roughness. The ball will be placed at the end of the run.
So they remarked the ball and put it back to where it was at the end of the run.
So he just said now there is no roughness. They're marking it at the end of the play. That's confusing.
Still first down for Jackson State. And T.C. Taylor wants an explanation on the sideline. He's not sure exactly what these guys are calling here, but wow. So they split the field, does Jackson State. Morgan back to Seven McGee. McGee's still loose, and he almost sprung it again. McGee's going to be close to a first down, maybe a yard shy. Same play he scored on just a few plays ago, and he almost took it home again.
And again, the timing, execution of that play gives him an opportunity. One more miss he makes, they got a touchdown.
So Morgan passes high, was trying to hit Spencer, and he hung him out to dry with that one. Big hit right there by Ja'Cory Benjamin.
Intended for Spencer.
Yeah, he went up in the air. His legs got knocked from underneath him. And watch this. He goes up in the air to get it. And he gets hit in that hip. He just goes flying back on his head and back.
Yeah, Ja'Cory Benjamin read that one from the outset, and he was in the backfield quickly.
So they just gave
15-yard penalty there, so automatic first down for. So this first half has kind of been a penalty-riddled first half at this point.
Well, it's confusing though. You pick up you say you're going to do the penalty on the other one. You pick it up, back it up, and then you call that one. We'll move on. Texas Southern's just got to bow up here.
1st and 10 to go for the Tigers from Jackson State. And the pass is going to pick up a yard. He hit Kobe Paul out there. Paul could not shake the initial tackler.
First pass complete to the 44.
Jackson State kind of runs 2 or 3 plays inside of a play, and it gives your quarterback options of where he's going to go. So you had that pass to the right, that quick pass over there. You had linemen pulling from your guard and your tackle, pulling you around to the left. You would have dumped it right in another guy. So you had 2 plays. You got to choose which one he thought was more effective.
2nd and 9. Morgan dumps it to the underneath man. That is Spencer. He makes a one-handed catch, but Williams wraps him up before he could actually get going on that play. Short gain for JSU.
Again, Texas Southern defense still playing strong, and they're not letting the refs or the penalties or what they think or not think affect their play, which I think I respect that a lot.
We're under 2 minutes to go here in the first half, down to 1:45 as the clock ticks down. Morgan taking his time. Now he's going to throw it. Jacoby and Morgan comes back underneath, has it to Martin. And Martin could not break the tackle in the open field. He was set up nicely, but Josiah Hardman comes in and makes a great open field tackle for Texas Southern.
Boy, Josiah, that was a fantastic open field tackle. You want to realize when you're on an island with someone so fast, so skilled, and you're able to make that tackle on an island, that's fantastic.
So 4th down now, coming up. 4th down, we have 1:03 to go and counting down here in the first half. 4th down for Jackson State. Tigers need 5. Pass over there is complete, and it's a first down for Jackson State. Kobe Paul breaks the tackle down the sidelines. Paul still on his feet and finally dropped at the 2-yard line. So the gamble pays off in a big way for T.C. Taylor and the Tigers.
Well, watch this execution. Watch Paul, how calm he is. He first of all makes 3 guys miss. And then he waits for his blockers out there to clear the room so he can get more yards. What a great job of being patient and understanding that your teammates are going to block out front for you.
So that time they went to J.D. Martin, and the Tigers from TSU were ready for that one. Isaiah Bogerty made the stop, and now we're going to have a timeout on the field. But what a great drive so far by Jackson State as far as the way they used the clock and milked the clock down, and now they're knocking at the door with a chance to put, at a minimum, 3 more on the board.
Yeah, and I think what they've done a really great job is they've utilized the mistakes or penalties or mishaps by Texas Southern, and they've expanded on them, right? It's one thing to get those things going your way, but you don't do much with them. What they've done is every drive that almost stalled, and Texas Southern had a mistake or a call, agree or not agree, it doesn't even matter at that point. Jackson State does something with it, right? They move the ball forward, they get a play, they make a play. Their execution has been good coming down the stretch, and they've overcome their own penalty, which was a touchdown earlier, and they kept their focus. But I will say this, Butch, I'm impressed with the Texas Southern defense that they haven't, their shoulders and yelling and screaming about calls or no calls or some of that stuff. They've just stayed and played hard despite letting this drive move on. I think their play has been very, very strong, and they've been battling this drive.
So Jacobian Morgan, the SWAC Offensive Player of the Week now with 34 seconds to go here in the first half, has his team in great position on 2nd down. Morgan keeps the football. Now he's running for the end zone, and Morgan is in. It's a touchdown for Jackson State. So he had 3 options on that. He had the option to hand it off, the option to keep, and the option to pass, and he kept it for the touchdown.
Yeah, and that's exactly right. And Jackson State runs that option. He could have handed off there to the left. He could have thrown left, actually, and then he just goes, you know what, I'm going to run it right in there because you're opening a valley for me. And in case you forgot, I got skills. I can run this ball.
Well, it's so interesting because he is like a touchdown maker because they got him back in the lineup. He was in the short yardage situations before he took over as the starting quarterback. So he does a great job of running the football and can really smell the end zone. So that point after is good right there by Dylan Watson. He had a nice hook on that one, but it did hook through that left upright there, so it is good. And it's 21-7 now, Jackson State out in front.
That thing looked like it took a 90-degree turn once it got past. I didn't think it made it past the post at first. But, man, what a big extra point there. And, again, Jackson State started at their 4-yard line, Bush, and goes all the way down. That is something else.
And Morgan is just a redshirt junior, so he has more eligibility to come for Jackson State. What do you think about their blackout uniforms?
Oh, I love it. I always think, when you black out, it just kind of gives players a certain attitude and a certain type of badness, if you will, right? And a lot of people, I say that a lot, you can tell by characters of a team of certain way they play. And when you do stuff like this, and this young generation that comes out really loves certain looks. And when they get those looks, it gives them swagger. And I think for sure, what Coach T.C. Taylor talked about is they've got to find a way to get an edge and get some aggression at home. And it's certainly given them that. I'm sure he's pleased with the way they are playing at home in front of their home crowd.
So we see the kickoff, and it's fumbled at about the 7-yard line. And here comes Ladarius Owens around the outside. He's going to go out of bounds at about the 24-yard line. That last drive 10 plays, and it covered 94 yards. I mean, you said that might have been one of the most important drives. I mean, they had a lot of big plays and they had a lot of penalties to overcome, but 12 plays, 90 yards, and it was a minute and 15 seconds.
That's all the time that went on the clock?
Well, I'm looking at this on the computer, but I agree with you. It doesn't look right. It seemed like it was a little longer than that.
Something may be a little strange, but no doubt, great drive. And again, they just kept churning. Let's see if Texas Southern offense can do something quick.
Actually, 4:13 was the time of possession. And here goes the run to Ladarius Owens straight up the middle. So 12 plays, 90 yards, 4 minutes and 13 seconds on the drive.
That sounds a little more reasonable. You guys, is Texas Southern going to try anything, or are they just going to allow the clock to go out?
Ticking down. We got 5 seconds to go here in the first half. And that's going to do it. The Tigers from Texas Southern will be content to go into the locker room trailing in this ball game 21-7. So an exciting first half has come to an end. We'll be back with your halftime report in just a minute. Texas Southern trailing Jackson State 21-7. Thanks to plays like that by Seven McGee. Welcome to the halftime show brought to you by Pepsi. We're at the half And it's Jackson State out in front, 21-7. And now let's go down to the field where you can check out the Ocean of Soul from Texas Southern University. Of course, the halftime band performance presented by Pepsi.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the class act and the sweat. It's the motion of the ocean as they get down to the sounds of How Deep Is Your Love by Calvin Harris.
Next one will be the long one. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's your favorite dance team. Let's go, motion. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to get down with the Ocean of Soul.
That is the Ocean of Soul.
For your husband, iPhone 15 Pro.
Carolers, to tell me you want a new iPhone, a better plan's Verizon.
No way they take this wreck.
Yes, they will, and you'll get iPhone 15 Pro and Apple TV 4K and Apple One, all three on them.
Do that.
We tried to tell him, but he paid us a lot.
It was a lot.
This holiday, turn any iPhone in any condition into a new iPhone 15 Pro with titanium, Apple TV 4K, and 6 months of Apple One. All three on us. It's holiday every day with Verizon.
The holidays are here, and so are the savings at Zales. This weekend only, take 30% off everything at Zales.
What if your entire day glided like Dove Men? It's made with a plant-based moisturizer and glides on without irritation, so you can glide through your entire day with confidence. Feel the Dove Men glide.
Kate here has been a little stressed out about her holiday to-dos, but you don't need more tinsel, Kate. You need Shutterfly. Shutterfly makes it easy to create a holiday card that pops, with options like double-thick cardstock, foil accents. They'll even address your cards for you. Make it great, make it easy, make it Shutterfly.
Make it more tinsel?
Nope. No. Get 40% off everything with code CARDS40 at Shutterfly.
There he is. It's right there. Oh, he's straight ahead. He's straight ahead. Go, go, go.
Cover more ground in the Kia Sportage Turbo Hybrid. Kia, movement that inspires.
At Cracker Barrel, 'tis the season for holiday traditions and cinnamon rolls turned pie. Our cinnamon roll pie breakfast is warm, gooey, glazed, and starts at just $8.99. And try our turkey, crispy, country fried, and smothered with gravy. Only here for a limited time. Cracker Barrel. Take care now. Plus, share the home-style holiday cheer with Cracker Barrel Catering and welcome your guests while we do the rest.
Question.
What's up, Gil?
When I tell my members on the socials about our auto loans with amazing rates, should I hit them with a skirt? Skirt. Maybe it's more of a Navy Federal Credit Union can help you save on a new whip with amazing rates. Yeah, that's definitely a Hundo P moment. Thanks, fam. Hi, this is Gail with Navy Federal Credit Union. What's good? Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission.
At Simply Safe, your safety is the only thing that matters. Introducing 24/7 LiveGuard protection, only from Simply Safe. This exclusive technology allows Simply Safe agents to help stop crime in real time by speaking through the new Smart Alarm indoor camera.
Stop. This is Simply Safe. Police are on their way.
For instant intruder deterrence and faster police response.
Police have arrived. Your home is safe.
Advanced home security, 24/7 professional monitoring for less than $1 a day. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Welcome back, everyone. We are at the half, and Jackson State, after scoring in the final minute of the first half, they lead 21-7 over Texas Southern University. Let's go to news and notes now. Our SWAC news and notes, because there's always something interesting going on around the SWAC, brought to you by GM, First the Bowling, Weekly Honors. SWAC named Alabama State Savannah Razor and Peyton Hartgrove for SWAC Bowling Weekly Honors today for their outstanding performances. Congratulations to them. And then we have some SWAC women's golf players who had an outstanding week. We like to congratulate them. And how about the volleyball honors? It just goes on and on. Congratulations to all on a great week. Those are your SWAC news and notes brought to you by GM.
Anytime, anywhere.
Let's take a look now at a schedule of games. See if we can take a look at some of the scores from earlier today. This is actually our slate of games for Week 11, brought to you by Pepsi. You can see Grambling at Arkansas Pine Bluff on November 11th. It's Alabama A&M versus Bethune-Cookman. On November 11th, also Alabama State at Mississippi Valley State. And then you have Alcorn State at Texas Southern. It says 11, but that game has been moved to the 12th, to Sunday, because of a stadium conflict. So that is the game you and I will be at, Jorge. And then the rest of the week, what about that one? Prairie View at Southern. That game could have big implications on the race.
Yeah, that game, no question about it. That will be the game of the week right there. Prairie View A&M at Southern, both of them will have a say-so who wins the West. And that will be a big, especially for Prairie View.
And then you wrap it up with Florida A&M hosting Lincoln out of California. Lincoln's waving the white flag in that one right now because that is over. Florida A&M already the champion in the East. That was your SWAC slate of games coming up for Week 11, brought to you by Pepsi. Now let's go down to the field and check out the sonic boom of the South from Jackson State University. Instead of listening to the band, let's take a look now at the scoreboard.
Now the sonic boom performed by
SWAC scoreboard brought to you by Pepsi.
There you go. Bethune-Cookman up on Mississippi Valley State, 20-7. That's a final. That was a Thursday game. Right now in the third quarter, the big game of the day, one of the big games, Florida A&M, 35-21 over Alabama A&M. You have Alcorn State, 34, Southern 14. Alcorn, if they get a big win here, they will put them on top of the West right now. And Prairie View A&M looking strong against Arkansas Pine Bluff, 24-0. And then later on today, Grambling and Alabama State.
Yes, indeed. Tough schedule right there, and it's going to go right down to the wire again. We're coming closely to the end of the first half here. Let's pause now for a timeout. 21-7, Jackson State out in front. 21-7 at the half. Jackson State leading Texas Southern University. Let's go down and listen to the Sonic Boom of the South. Let's get a little bit of them in.
Texas Southern, you better have that money. All right, Tiger fans, you know what time it is. Red light. Mic check.
The Battle of the Bands, always as competitive as the football team and the football game. So, boy, we had a great halftime show. We'll be back with second half action in just a minute. (21-7), Jackson State leading Texas Southern at the half. Let's take a look at some highlights and see exactly how we got to this point. SWAC football presented today by Pepsi. Wilson with a tip pass, and that was a big interception by True Thompson there, and that would lead to the first score of the ball game. True Thompson with the interception, and then it's Jacoby and Morgan on the keeper, diving in for the touchdown, the first touchdown of the first half. Then watch this pitch. Just a great run by J.D. Martin, coming the opposite way. After he shook a couple of guys in the backfield, this guy's had a fine first half. And how about that formation? Let's go back to Little League, back in the backyard, the way we used to do it. And then Morgan puts a man in motion, throws it to 7, McGee. Almost intercepted, but McGee has it for a touchdown. But the Tigers from TSU come back. This great run by Johnson. Down the sideline, one man to beat, and he takes it in for the touchdown. 14-7 game at that point. But then Jackson State on the move. They get the football and come up with a big play from Kobe Paul this time. He brought it right down to the goal line. We have a 21-7 lead at the half. And Jorge, let's take a look at the first half stats. What do you think?
Again, it's funny because it's 21-7 Jackson State. But if you look at these stats, I mean, they are really close. And that shows you how well Texas Southern has played in this game. They just have those little, I'll just call them snake bites and be consistent how I've been calling them. They have some mistakes that are hard to overcome to get on the scoreboard. I mean, 179 total yards offense for them, not bad, and 196 to Jackson State. I feel like the rushing, they feel like they may need to pump that up a little more to open up the passing, but just 102 passing. So, but Jackson State, 17 minutes controlling the ball. I think that big drive when they started at the 6-yard line or 5, and they drove it all the way down that last right before the half. That was absolutely huge, and they took advantage of penalties, mistakes, etc., to be able to score, and they capped it off with 7.
Yeah, and it was right at the end of the first half, and they took advantage of it. You're 100% correct, but give them credit, too. They also overcame some of those penalties because the 7 McGee touchdown was called back.
Yeah, no question. But I will say this, and I said it right before the half. I'm impressed with Texas Southern not letting themselves feel like they're deflated. I think their defense battled the entire time. Even on that long drive, they had some penalties there, but they were in every single play. Their penetration in the backfield has been, I think, really, really special. They put a lot of pressure in the backfield on Morgan. They just have to keep it up and just keep working and those plays will happen. They just have to keep working. They can't think about what may happen. They just got to outwork it.
And Jackson State punched in the touchdown right before the half. They get the ball to start the second half. What do you think T.C. Taylor is telling his troops about starting the second half?
I think he's got to say stay in it, and he's going to remind them those first 2 series they had the ball, they didn't look all that sharp until that interception happened, at least that first drive. So I think the interception was the second drive of the game. I think he's going to say, look, if you don't pay attention to detail, if we don't execute, you're going to find yourself on the wrong end of this. And he's going to remind them, we have trouble concentrating, keeping our focus at home. Let's keep that focus. Let's keep rolling. And so I think there's enough things that he can correct and be angry enough to keep their attention, but also say, look, we got a lot more work to do.
And as far as Texas Southern is concerned, they need to come out with another defensive stop here on this opening drive.
And their defense has shown they can do it. Their defense has shown they can make plays. They almost had that interception when 7 McGee scored. That would have been a pick 6 the other way. They had a lot of these almost things. They just got to keep working.
So Gustavo Romero with the kickoff. It's going to sail down at about the 6-yard line where it's fielded. And the Tigers from Jackson State, that is Spencer on the return. Isaiah Spencer, and he gets it up to about the 24-yard line. So that is where they will operate 1st and 10 as they get the ball to start the second half. We mentioned Jacoby and Morgan was the SWAC Offensive Player of the Week. And a great honor for him because he was just, almost played a perfect game last week.
Oh, I mean, geez, he distributed the ball incredibly well. Just was calm in the pocket under pressure. And again, just did all the things that his team needed to do. It didn't try to stretch it and do too much. And he's having himself a nice game as well today.
So Morgan comes out, has his 3 wideouts stacked to the left, to his left, as he gets ready to operate 1st and 10. This time he spreads it out and he keeps it. A lot of room for Morgan, and he's upended. A nice stick right there by Ja'Cory Benjamin. He's had a pretty good game for that TSU defense. We've called his name a lot.
Yeah, Ja'Cory Benjamin, man, he puts down the hammer every time you want to come his way, he's going to give you all he's got. That's for daggone sure.
So second down now as Moultrie takes the handoff. He tries to turn the corner, but the Tigers from TSU are waiting for it.
You know, Morgan, 16 of 20, 80% passing. That is right on time right there. Again, look at Moultrie, and look at that TSU line. They just kept everything back, kept coming at him. You got 3 or 4 guys all on a tackle. That's what you'd love to see as a defensive coordinator.
Josiah Hardman helping out on that stop. So 3rd and 3 for JSU. And they go to Moultrie, and he dives forward. He has the first down. And the Jackson State Tigers will continue the drive with 13:45 to go here in the third quarter.
Yeah, that was more of a traditional stretch play. They kind of had all their linemen just kind of stacking and moving, creating room. And then he just made that 1-foot cut right back inside and got the yard.
1st and 10 for Jackson State now. If you're just joining us, they're wearing the black uniforms because they have a blackout going on today. So it's one of those special uniform type days with the white helmets for the Tigers from JSU. Morgan to pass again, and it's incomplete. But he had a blitz staring him down right in the face there as he just unloaded that football.
Yeah, and again, you know, but that's what you do sometimes. When a play is just, there's sometimes it's just a bad play, right? You got to get rid of it and be done with it, move on to the next play, and that's what he did.
So 2nd and 10 after the incomplete pass. We see Moultrie in the backfield to start the second half of play. We also saw J.D. Martin in the first half. So he puts Moultrie in motion to the left. Going to throw back that way. Has his man, it's complete, but they're not going to get much on it. The Tigers, Jacob Williams with a big tackle for TSU to shut the whole thing down.
Yeah, he flew to the ball right there. He read it. And they used Moultrie really just as a blocker out there. They spread him wide. He went there to block, see if they could make something happen, but TSU fought through it and got the tackle.
So 3rd and 8 coming up for Jackson State. Morgan will try to throw it. Has some pressure, but he completes it, and it's completed for a first down. A nice pass to his big tight end right there, DJ Stevens on the catch, the big 6'4", 235-pound graduate student.
Yeah, big-time play, and they'll pick up the pace and puts it right on the money in coverage.
I thought it was interesting when Coach told us that Morgan and DJ Stevens already have a nice chemistry going. They have a good connection, and now Morgan is trying to make that connection with McCray and some of the other wide receivers on that team.
Yeah, and you talked about it earlier that, you know, Morgan had a hand injury, which caused him to miss spring ball, which put him behind. You know, he couldn't get there for spring ball, I believe, and then he hurt his hand at the beginning of the season, so then he couldn't really get in the rhythm. And again, you know, I mean, but they kept seeing what this guy can do. As Jason Brown was a starter, he did well, but they feel like the future is with Morgan, and they feel like they just told Jason Brown they needed a spark. Jason Brown handled it incredibly well. Again, and then they move on. And again, he's supporting Morgan, and that's what you want your team to do. And so now they're moving forward.
So JSU coming off of a big 3rd down conversion. Jacobian Morgan this time chased and caught again in the backfield, and he's dropped. So the Tigers have done a great job of putting the pressure on him, is something Coach Clarence McKinney said he wanted to see his team do in this game today.
Yeah, Lennox Noel, one of those guys just causing some. Look at him. Noel he was held and he still kept coming, but he started that first part.
David Walker
avalanche.
caught him in the backfield.
Yep.
So Walker coming in with those fresh legs, and he's going to get credited for a sack on that play. Bringing up a 2nd and 14 now for Jackson State. Morgan will try to toss it again, throws underneath to Moultrie, and guess who? Jacob Williams, the guy who's all over the field all the time. The young man who came into this game with 7.5 sacks and over 15 tackles for loss behind the line of scrimmage.
He's just a guy who just wants it more than most. I don't know how else to say it. He gets where he needs to be.
And now we have a whistle before they could get it off. We have a whistle on the field as Jackson State was looking at a 3rd and 20. That is Y.N. Myers, and he said the Tigers from JSU were guilty of illegal procedure.
This penalty is sponsored by
So that'll back them up 5.
with Richard Schwartz.
And so this drive that had some promise is now third and a mile.
You know, it's funny. You asked me what should they do, right? They got to be able to keep their focus, maintain their attention to detail. And you can see right here, it looks like they're just kind of losing their focus here.
3rd and 25 for Jackson State. Tigers faking the blitz from the Tigers from TSU, faking a blitz. Now they motion out the big tight end, DJ Stevens. And Morgan will pass. He has pressure. Dumps it off to Moultrie. Moultrie breaks one tackle, and he can't get away from the gang, though. Everybody was coming, including number 94, who just made the tackle in the backfield. That is David Walker, who's there for the stop.
How about that? You come in, make 2 plays in a row. That'll get you more playing time in a hurry, don't you think?
That'll do it, because that's what coaches are looking for, is somebody who can come up with the big play. So Jackson State, on their first possession of the second half, they will have to punt the football away. Back to return for the TSU Tigers is Trenton Leary. He's number 12. Matt Knowles kick. Back inside the 10, and here comes Leary. Leary's still on his feet. He's got a lot of room in front of him. A great block. Now he's going to come back, though. Leary's still on his feet. He's going to be caught from behind. That big run is going to be brought back because clipping was called on the play as the flag was thrown in there. But Leary did a great job bringing that one back. Flag came in late. So
yeah, Leary did. And I saw the play that they called it on. But, you know, I don't consider that a real clip. You're running side by side. He didn't lay out a guy. He didn't. I mean, if we get another look at that.
Well, holding is the official call, so but they threw it well into the rut.
Yeah, no question about it. So maybe it can't be that hold right there. And it's not that clip. They didn't call that. That's what I thought they were going to call the clip on, but to me, he got in front of him. I'm not sure where they called the holding. I'm not sure where they called the holding at there, but.
So the penalty is going to wipe out a big run by Trenton Leary, the 5'9", 170-pounder from Austin, Texas. But TSU will still get good field position out of it. But, boy, he had really brought it down.
Yeah, that's an opportunity missed there. But you just got to keep going. That's where I think Texas Southern has done well. They just keep working.
So the transfer from Furman, Jace Wilson back in at quarterback for Texas Southern. Puts Leary in motion. And he hands it off to start the second half to Ladarius Owens, who bangs his way for about 5 yards.
Man, Ladarius just shows so much power. And he's not that imposing when you look at him. But you watch when anyone tackles him, they go backwards.
Make it a gain of 6. Call it 2nd and 4. Wilson looking to throw now. Has a man out there, and the pass is right on the money. And a big first down for Texas Southern University. That's Johnson again. And Wilson put that one right in his hands.
And it was a double move. Jared Johnson did this. Wait a minute.
There is a flag. No, there's a flag down again.
And that's a shame if that doesn't hold, because Jared Johnson did a great job of. Wow. Well, then I won't talk about how great it was. It was a good double move. They have to respect Ladarius Owens on the run. And then when they pull it back, Jared Johnson looks like he's going to block it, and he does that little move. And great pass. He put it right on the money. And again, it's called back.
Well, you're right. Just a great move by Johnson. And the ball was there. He made the catch. And it's unfortunate. Penalty goes against Texas Southern. And it's going to back him up. And I was watching Johnson on the play after the catch, and he knew it. Because you could tell from his body language that he was expecting something here, and then the flag is down. So that's 2 big penalties on the first possession of the second half, on the big kickoff return and on the big pass to Johnson. So the Tigers are going to have it 2nd down now. And Jace Wilson fires out near the sideline, completes it. It's a nice gain to Quay Davis, the former Jackson State player, who's back to face his old team in this game.
Davis made a great, that won't go under any kind of super highlight. That was a great catch. Going up and getting a positive play out of that.
Tim Stewart over there on the coverage for JSU. And now we have whistles again.
I'm not sure if they get bonuses per whistle. What's going on? They sure have a lot of stoppage of play here. Ryan Myers having plenty of conferences in this game today. I'm not sure what this one's about. Discussing dinner plans, perhaps. He's messing up mine.
This is kind of amazing, really.
Well, at the end of the day, they're trying to make sure everything's on the up and up, and they've got everything in the same.
So the Tigers will get to run their third down now.
See if he can connect with Jaron Johnson again.
So here comes Jace Wilson on third down now. He has 3 wideouts to his right. Jackson State coming with the blitz. He gives. No, he fakes it. And Wilson's going to keep it. And Wilson picks up a first down for the TSU Tigers. So a great decision by Jace Wilson to keep the ball and advance it upfield. And you know, the thing about Jace, and did you watch the play here?
Yeah. He had that ball hanging out to the left, which had me nervous at the beginning. Finally put it in that left arm and accelerated for the first down.
Yeah, he doesn't have the biggest arm. He's not the fastest guy, but he gets the job done for Texas Southern. So Wilson again. Fires and is going to be intercepted as he underthrew that pass. I mean, way underthrew that pass. It's picked off by Tim Stewart, and it's another turnover for the Tigers from Texas Southern.
And the tough part about that particular type of pass there, he's on the far left side, right, throwing back to the right, trying to go over the top of 2 defenders. That's a hard throw. And like you said, he was probably, 5-6 yards under on the throw.
That is unfortunate for TSU, but that looked like it was just a bad throw right there by Jace Wilson. We have a 21-7 game, and Jackson State will have the football after the turnover thanks to the interception by Tim Stewart.
Thousands of athletes disappearing clutch moments through the fall in hydration levels. Get yourself back in the game. Get yourself a Gatorade. Rehydrate, replenish, refuel.
We are exactly what you think. We are not at all what you think. We are past, present, and future, all in one. Because the best way to honor our history is to make history. General Motors, honored to sponsor the Southwestern Athletic Conference.
HBCUs are anchored by legacy. They nurture the talent and determination of their students and prepare them for a bright future. The Home Depot's Retool Your School program has and still believes in the excellence of HBCUs, committed not just in speech, but through the and upgrades of the campuses these students call home. Building, planting, tilling the dream, all hearts and countless volunteers on the ground. Retool Your School. We're powered by purpose.
Some college players give it their all. But when I say player, I don't mean the ones with the ball. I mean the ones that play drums, the brass, the woodwinds. These players bring excitement to the stadium. Because for them, halftime isn't a break. It's game time. Pepsi is a proud supporter of HBCU students. Pepsi and HBCUs. That's what I like.
Every year, thousands of athletes disappear in clutch moments through the fall in hydration levels. Get yourself back in the game. Get yourself a Gatorade. Rehydrate, replenish, refuel.
Tim Stewart has just given the Tigers from Jackson State University their second INT of the game, so they have the football. The turnover margin there, you can see on the season for Texas Southern, for the season is -8. That's 10th in the SWAC. They got 2 today, the 2 interceptions, 1 off the tip pass, and that last one we saw right before the break, just a bad pass right there by Chase Wilson. So 1st and 10 for Jackson State now, and Moultrie takes the handoff, and Moultrie has some room as he surges forward for a nice gain on 1st down.
Yeah, giving up the ball is not exactly the stat you want to lead on.
Another look at the INT.
And again, look how short. I mean, it's literally 5-6 yards short. It's like he just didn't get the air underneath it. He really had his feet. I don't understand why it was so bad, but he just didn't get it there.
So 2nd and 1, call it a gain of 9 on that 1st down run by Moultrie. Blitz by TSU on the play, and the pass is deep, and it's incomplete as Morgan took a shot downfield with the blitz coming.
Yeah, he's trying to find Fabian McCray right there, looks like. And again, I love the play call, right? You get 9 on that first run, do a little bit of play action, just let your guy run, see if you can't just crush the spirit of Texas Southern, because that's what Jackson State's trying to do. They're trying to take it out of him right there.
Namani Harris on the coverage for TSU, number 26. He'll bring up a short 3rd and 2. That's what you do when you have a 2nd and short. You take that shot. Comes back, gives it to Moultrie. He has the 1st down and more. So move the sticks again for the JSU Tigers.
Yeah, and also part of it now is Jackson State goes, okay, we're going to score here. We're going to make sure we close this game out, but we also want to get this time and keep holding. We want that clock to not stop.
You look at the numbers for Jackson State. They're averaging 155 rushing yards a game, and Moultrie gets it again. Just straight up the middle, that offensive line doing a good job on this drive. I said they average 155 a game rushing, 257 passing. So they have that really good balance over there on offense. When you look at the point totals, they're scoring like 30.4 a game. So they're doing a good job of getting the ball into the end zone.
And again, that's exactly what their intent is here. And you can see they've slowed it down. They're not calling the play fast. They're going to be very methodical as they try to go into the end zone here. That's their goal.
Morgan fakes it, and he's caught from behind and dropped. Texas Southern with some pressure on the play.
David Walker again, Butch.
He is something. I mean, he's made his presence felt here in the second half.
He's 6 foot, 261, redshirt freshman from Richmond, Texas. Played at George Ranch High School, and I'm telling you what, he's letting coaches know today, I'm here to play.
Well, that's what you have to do. I mean, you get on the radar, you get out there, you keep making plays. So now, after that play hit in the backfield, it's going to be a 3rd and 11 for Jacoby and Morgan and the offense. Morgan has time, and then he ran out of time, but he still completed his pass, and it's over to McCray. And as McCray tried to put that foot down and plant and cut for the 1st down, he slipped, and he's going to be a little short. So it's going to be 4th and very short for that 1st down.
Yeah, I was going to say 1.5 to 2 yards. Looks like the mark is 2 yards. Man, now what do you do, right? Do they go?
Jacobian's not going anywhere. He's still on the field.
They're going to talk about it. Yeah, and they may indeed still want to go for it, but they want to make sure they got the right play, get everybody on the right page. It's a big play here. And again, they can kick the field goal. That's, I think, more of the easy call. I think they're trying to say, okay, we're going to squeeze the life out of Texas Southern. We want to end it here. We want to get this touchdown here, go up 28-7, and really, hopefully, take the will out of Texas Southern.
Yeah, it's almost in that no man's land for them. I mean, of course, they have Wasson has been good from 46 yards.
Yeah.
He has a 46-yarder. He has a 45-yarder. He's kicked one from 40 yards, so he definitely has the range.
And that's what it looks like they're going to do, Butch.
Yeah, he has the range, and he's been really successful from this distance. So he'll come out, and he'll attempt the field goal. It'll be a 42-yard attempt from Dylan Wasson.
And I think this is the right call. I do.
Trying to make it a 17-point lead.
Wilson on to attempt a 42-yard field
He's 5 of 6 on the year in field goal attempts. And that time somebody may have gotten a hand on that one. It appeared to be blocked, and the ball is loose in the end zone. And big DJ Stevens is just going to fall on it. So the field goal attempt is no good. DJ Stevens falls on the loose ball. We'll take a timeout now and be back with 4:28 to go here in the third quarter. (21-7), Jackson State leading Texas Southern, but right before the break, Dylan Wasson attempted a field goal attempt, and it appeared, we thought maybe one of the TSU Tigers, look at this, Jorge, one of the TSU Tigers may have gotten a hand on it.
Yeah, you could see it kind of shank off to the left as soon as his hand touches it. Can't really see a number on it, but a big block by Texas Southern.
So the TSU Tigers go back on offense, and they come out with Ja'Cory Howard, the big fella. And he's still on his feet, man, with one of those angry runs as he just tossing people around. Ja'Cory Howard hadn't played in a little bit, so he's getting his money's worth.
Yeah, look at that. Again, great blocking. And that cut right there, he went right where he needed to go. And then look at his manhandle.
So Wilson to pass this time. Steps up in the pocket, shovels it out, and it's an incomplete pass as he was running forward. Tried to shuttle it out to Trenton Leary, but it's an incomplete pass.
I think that's where Wilson just keeps the ball and runs. I mean, even if he got it to Leary couldn't really do a whole lot with it. Just keep it, go get your couple yards, and be done.
2nd and 10 now for Texas Southern University. Turn, and he fakes it to Howard, goes up top, has a man over there, and a beautiful pass, but it wasn't an incomplete pass. He couldn't hang on to it.
And I'll tell you, it was
Chase gave him a shot.
It was a great decision because Jackson State just came up and said, all right, we're challenging you. We're going to man up. We're going to man up on you. And he saw it, and he read it, and he put it in a perfect spot. Just could not come down with it.
Man, Leary had it in his hands. He had a good shot at making the catch. Couldn't hang on to it. But that's the thing about Jace Wilson. Doesn't need a strong arm because of when he throws it. His timing is so good. He throws it to that spot.
Yeah.
So 3rd and 10 now for Texas Southern University. Give is to Howard, and Howard has some room. Ja'Cory Howard will walk in for a Texas Southern touchdown. and they just completely crossed up the Jackson State defense there. They were looking past, they came back with the run to Howard, and TSU is on the board.
You know, I think they expected Howard, when Howard's in there, they're going to stay between the tackles and run deep. And that's a second off left tackle that he ran. And look at that. You got a guard pulling, boom, cuts right inside, and there's no one there. You come up on man and you decide to do man, there's no one deep. A great, great touchdown by Texas Southern, and now you got a tight one.
Now you what a change of events. You got a blocked field goal, and now you got a blocked extra point, maybe a bad snap on that. So both teams struggling with the kicking game at this point. So we got a 21-13 game. Jackson State out in front. We'll take a timeout and come right back with more.
Created Solid Black in 2021 to help fuel the as a black leader seeking to drive real change. Like Alvin Irby and his vision to spread litter. Or Marvin Pierre, who's empowering our youth with skills that bridge the opportunity gap. Or Jessica Johnson, whose education and dreams helps make college a reality. And many more. Check out their stories and help shape change. We are Solid Black. Join us and try another angle.
Huge play coming up.
Talking about dropping the ball.
I got the score.
Tostitos Hardy Dippers.
Every year, thousands of athletes disappear in clutch moments due to falling hydration levels. Get yourself back in the game. Get yourself a Gatorade. Rehydrate, replenish, refuel.
We are exactly what you think. We are not at all what you think. We are past, present, and future, all in one. Because the best way to honor our history is to make history. General Motors, honored to sponsor the Southwestern Athletic Conference.
HBCUs are anchored by legacy. They nurture the talent and determination of their students and prepare them for a bright future. The Home Depot's Retool Your School program has and still believes in the excellence of HBCUs, committed not just in speech, but through the and upgrades of the campuses these students call home. Building, planting, tilling the dream, all hearts and countless volunteers on the ground. Retool Your School. We're powered by purpose.
Every year, thousands of athletes disappear in clutch moments due to falling hydration levels. Get yourself back in the game. Get yourself a Gatorade. Rehydrate, replenish, refuel.
Butch Alcindor and Jorge Vargas with you with 3:40 to go in the third quarter, and the TSU Tigers have just made this a one-possession football game after the Ja'Cory Howard run for a touchdown. 21-13 now, Jackson State out in front as the Tigers from TSU kick it off to the Tigers from JSU. And here comes Jackson State on the return, and the football will get back to the 20. Let's call it the 24 on the return. That is Spencer on the return for Jackson State, Isaiah Spencer. And last time out, JSU had a nice drive, drove it all the way down, tried the field goal by Wasson, and it was blocked by one of the TSU players. We could not get the number on that, but that may have given the Tigers from Texas Southern some momentum because they take it back down on the ground, and it's Ja'Cory Howard, the 6'1", 225-pounder, who took it in for the touchdown.
Yeah, and I think that shows you someone else picks up the mantle and rolls down. The thing Texas Southern has done in this entire game is they just keep working. They're not letting penalty calls, any kind of stoppage in play. You're not seeing them argue with the refs or fight or have any type of distraction. They just keep playing. They've not had one argument from the sidelines or the players, and I think that's keeping them concentrated on play after play. They've had some mistakes, but they keep rolling.
1st and 10 now for Jackson State. They go back to the running game. Ball goes to Moultrie, and he dances around, picks up a short gain, but there is a flag that was thrown into the backfield, and the TSU Tigers are saying it's holding against Jackson State.
Yeah, they were helping point it out for him.
Against the Tigers.
How about that? A face mask called against Jackson State.
So that's what you call the elevated hold, a face mask hold throw.
Well, it meant somebody was holding the face mask. You got your hand in somebody's face mask.
Yeah, that's probably exactly what that was.
So I'm sure T.C. Taylor right now is trying to get his team back into this ball game some, because now that's a big penalty to start this drive.
Yeah, he's got to get them refocused. Again, I think it's all whatever that attitude or whatever they're missing at that home cooking type play and in their home stadium. They found a way to get distracted. They got to get it back.
Morgan on the keeper this time. Has a nice hole, and Jacobian Morgan is tattooed, but he did pick up a big gain. But it's Javius Williams who came in to lower the boom on it.
And it's DeAndre Towns Blue, number 74, that absolutely popped open that hole. Watch him. He just clears it right there. And then Morgan was just totally decisive. He's like, I'm taking it.
So make it 2nd and 9. Handoff goes to Moultrie, and he's pulled down from behind by big number 72, Brian Booker. He tips the scales at 322 as he made a nice tackle there. Really reached out, grabbed him, and that was the end of that run.
I was going to say, he's got to be incredibly strong the way he just grabbed him and slowed him down and stopped him. Texas Southern has been really good, I think, from the point of attack. And they have their defensive line and their interior guys have played really well. They just got to keep chopping wood, as it's called.
3rd and 4 for Jackson State now to keep the drive going. Morgan has gone all the way at quarterback. Fires near the sidelines, completes his pass to McCray. And McCray's knocked out of bounds after he picked up the first down for Jackson State. So a good conversion there on 3rd down for the JSU Tigers.
Yeah, Ja'Cory Benjamin, he was working good coverage, but just a great pass, good execution.
So Morgan again goes off to Hagler. He's going to have 4 yards on the play. So the quick pass to the big tight end, Hayden Hagler, produces 4 yards on 1st down.
Javius Williams, he's been very active today, very quick to get there and make the tackle.
And what a season he's had. He's actually had 2 sacks. He excels on the blitz. I mean, he does a great job of rushing the passer. And now we got whistles all over the field again.
I think what Javius does really well is he disguises what he's doing. And then when he's coming, he's coming. Here's another meeting.
This is a problem with the game clock. They're going to set it back and put a little more time on the clock as too many seconds ticked off. So they have to get the clock reset, which is the problem now. Ryan Myers keeping the time on the field, so he saw that it continued to run. It has 1 minute and 20 seconds now left here in the second quarter. Excuse me, in the third quarter.
Yeah, I think he was.
Operator cannot hear you.
Yeah, we can't hear him well either. I think he was asking for 124 on the clock. He needs to hold up some numbers because the game clock operator, they said, cannot hear him, much like we can't hear him very well.
So the scoreboard is back to 1:30 now, and I guess that's close enough. So they're lining up and ready to go again. 1:30 to go here in the third quarter. Second and 10. Morgan will keep again. And he's not going to get too far. Nice job by the Texas Southern defensive front. You saw big number 5 there, Elinus Noel. And when you think about Morgan running the football, I mean, that's a load. 6'4", he's listed as 230. But he's a big load.
And unlike most quarterbacks, he runs behind his pads. I mean, He doesn't kind of run straight up. He lowers the boom.
Gain of 1 yard on that play, so call it 3rd and 9 for Jackson State. Nice pocket, good catch, and that's going to pin on the mark. Seven McGee diving back and making the catch. He was right at the sticks, and we'll see whether or not they give him the first down. Yes, it looks like it's a first down. They're marking his forward momentum there. He got the first down as the clock continues to tick down here in the third quarter. We're at 30 seconds and counting. Morgan will throw it again. Now he's in trouble and he goes down. Morgan has been under a lot of pressure today, but he's been cool and calm under the heat.
Let me give you a number, 94. David Walker. My gosh, son.
What a game David Walker is playing.
Look at him just work. Comes back. He works, takes outside, and comes back to the inside.
See, Biggie Linus wants a piece of that sack, though. He kind of forced him right into it.
He won't get credit for that.
And that takes us to the end of the third quarter. 1 quarter to go, and we have a one-possession game in Jackson. Jackson State out in front, 21-13. And we are back to live action, 21-13. Jackson State out in front as they continue to move the football here on this drive. 14:36 to go in the fourth quarter. We just got the fourth quarter underway. 3rd and 3 now coming up for the Tigers from JSU. And they go to Moultrie. And that second effort by Moultrie is going to get him very close to the sticks. They stopped him short at the initial lunge, but that second effort may have gotten him the first down. First and 10 for Jackson State.
First down sponsored by Pizza Hut.
And you're watching that picture right there is of the Southland of the SWAC Special Teams Player of the Week, Leilani Armenta from Ventura, California. She was 3 for 3 on PATs versus Arkansas Pine Bluff last week, making her the first woman to ever score in a SWAC game or in an HBCU game. And she wins Special Teams Player of the Week in the SWAC.
It was such a special moment when she did that. The whole team, including Coach T.C. Taylor, knew what that moment was when she made it. Every single person, from every trainer, every person on the bench, the staff, I think the guys who ran the headset were going over and making sure they gave her a high five. And she didn't just do it once, did 3 times.
TC said there was one problem with that. She needs to work on her celebration. I said, she ran by you without giving you a high five, Coach. But she came back and said, yeah, I know. I told her she needs to work on that. So, 2nd and 10 coming up right now for the Tigers from Jackson State. Big hit in the backfield. And a good job. That is Ja'Cory Benjamin again with the initial contact. And they said the knee may have hit the ground. So Moultrie didn't think he was down, but the officials did. Let's take another look.
Yeah, no, I thought he stayed up. But let's see. That knee went down. Yeah, he's a good actor, though. He sold me on that one. I'll give him an award.
Ja'Cory Benjamin with another outstanding defensive play for Texas Southern University. And how about Leilani Armenta, the Special Teams Player of the Week? And Coach said he wasn't sure he was going to use her, but the game situation dictated that he might try someone else kicking, and it worked out great. So now 3rd and 10 as Hagler goes in motion, and Morgan will throw it. He has pressure again, and Morgan is caught and dropped from behind. There's that big fella again, number 5, Elinus Noel, the 6'2", 340-pound transfer from Nichols, making a big play.
Look at Big Boy dance on his way out. A little you go inside, I'll go outside, and he showed some speed. He went to the outside, but made it home. Good job by Noel.
Man, he definitely said he showed some speed. He has quick feet, but he also has a burst, and that burst to the quarterback right there, making the sack in the backfield. So Jackson State will have to punt it away. Deep to return is Trenton Leary from Texas Southern as the ball is kicked. Leary chases it down. It hits around the 10, bounces up to the 12, and that is where Texas Southern will take over. And while they get set to take over the football, we're going to take a break in the booth. 21-13 is our game. We'll be right back.
Some college players give it their all. But when I say player, I don't mean the ones with the ball. I mean the ones who play drums, the brass, the woodwinds. These players bring excitement to the stadium. Because for them, halftime is music. It's game time. Pepsi is a proud supporter of HBCU students. Pepsi and HBCUs. That's what I like.
We are exactly what you think. We are not at all what you think. We are past, present, and future, all in one. Because the best way to honor our history is to make history. General Motors, honored to sponsor the Southwestern Athletic Conference.
Doritos created Solid Black in 2021 to help fuel the ideas of black leaders seeking to drive real change, like Alvin Irby and his vision to spread litter, or Marvin Pierre, who's empowering our youth with skills that bridge the opportunity gap, or Jessica Johnson, whose education and dreams helps make college a reality, and many more. Check out their stories and help shape change. We are Solid Black. Join us and try another angle.
Huge play coming up.
Talking about dropping the ball.
I got the score.
Tostitos Hardy Dippers.
In 1920, an athletic league was formed and slowly became one of the leading sports associations in the world of collegiate athletics, the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Today, the SWAC is looking towards the next century, growing, supporting, and transforming our intercollegiate sports activities for student athletes and promoting academic excellence. Each SWAC member institution represents a high level of integrity and sportsmanship. We are the SWAC, building champions for life.
It's been a battle in Jackson at Mississippi Veterans Memorial Stadium as Texas Southern, the Tigers from Texas Southern, are taking on Jackson State. This is a one-possession game. JSU out in front, 21-13. And here comes Ladarius Owens trying to turn the corner, but he couldn't get there. A lot of black shirts over there for Jackson State, and he's going to maybe pick up a yard at the most.
Yeah, I don't know if he's got that. That Jackson State did a phenomenal job of just literally grabbing that line of scrimmage and just taking it to the right and making them have to come back. Gave them no chance to cut back and create a steam.
So Jace Wilson will step up this time with 3 of his receivers out to the right. He has a single receiver on the left. Has Owens in the backfield. And he gives it to Owens. Owens has some room to go. And Ladarius Owens down the sidelines with a big run for a first down. And a lot more with 11 minutes to go in this game. And now we have a flag.
Owens on the carry. There are several late penalty markers.
Wow. And that might have been after the run.
It was after the run. Now, check out this run first. I don't want to diminish this. What a great job of seeing that seam and just exploding through it. But here, if you can let it run a little bit, number 6 kind of stays on top of him, steps on him, and then watch the sidelines a little bit, throws in there too. And I don't know if that's where the second flag comes in on the sideline. So I would venture to say you're going to see.
Yeah, there you go. Unsportsmanlike defense, number 6. Unsportsmanlike offense, number 44. Jerseys offset. It'll be first down. Texas Southern. That's both players first unsportsmanlike of the game.
So that was Guthrie, number 6, at the bottom, who wouldn't let Owens up. Yeah. And then the other call against Texas Southern was Jacob Washington, who wasn't even in the game. He was on the sideline.
Right. Yeah. No, that's where you just got to keep it cool. But again, good play. Focus on the now.
Great run by Ladarius Owens. So still first down for the Tigers from TSU. Pass to Johnson is complete. That's going to be a short gain before he's thrown back down by Solomon Rogers with a nice stop.
Yeah, it looks like Jaron right there got a little bit of a shaken up a little bit on that catch, but he got twisted pretty good. But he's a tough cookie. He's still staying out there and he's going at it.
He's had a nice game today for Texas Southern. Keep in mind, they're playing without 2 of their starting receivers. Derek Martin and A.J. Bennett both are out for the game. Came into the game out. This time the give goes inside to Owens, and a good reaction right there by that Tigers defense. Devontae Davis coming up with a big stop. And as you can see right there on your screen, Tigers have had injury problems all year long. They have 12 starters or players who would be starters out for the year, and it includes 3 preseason All-SWAC selections. They even lost, their main return man, Sean Xavier Lewis, who was a preseason All-SWAC. Yes, he was electric. So
and Andrew Body.
Andrew Body, the preseason quarterback. So it's been a tough road to go for Clarence McKinney and the Tigers, that they have to keep filling in, and take the next man up. So the Tigers now on third down. Chase throws it underneath Jace Wilson. And he goes to Leary. Leary's going to be popped out of bounds there. And it's going to bring up a third down.
See the angle of that throw? It's kind of an odd throw. Watch how he just I thought he was running all the way, and then he just flicks it.
Make it a first down for the TSU Tigers. Leary just got enough for that. But you're right, it was a good job, and he may have sold the defense on that. They go back to the run this time. So Leary picking up the first down to keep this drive alive for TSU. I mean, they have been involved. If we come down to 8:53 to go in this game, they have had 3 overtime games this year. They've had so many games that have come right down to the wire. And boy, today it's setting up to be another one of those. As Owens starts one way, comes back the other way, and then he's going to be slapped down after he picks up a couple.
That just shows they have no quit in them. And they just keep fighting and clawing.
I thought it was interesting what T.C. Taylor told us, that his team, he felt like, was playing so much better on the road than they were at home this year. He said somehow we need to get that same team that's on the road at home. So a big 3rd and 4 now for Texas Southern. Jace Wilson at quarterback. Fires inside, and that just looked like a strange play. He was trying to hit King Blanton, but he didn't really fake it, and then he just kind of sidearmed it. I guess he saw the rush was right there.
Yeah, the rush was coming at him, but it was just didn't look like. And right there, you really were 3rd and 4, right? You just needed to get a few yards. You know you're going to go for it on the 4th down. I felt like they just needed to have a better play to get him something. Even a rollout would be nice to let him create something.
Well, yeah, I agree with you. That's almost a situation where if you run the ball there and pick up 2 or 3 yards, you set yourself up for 4th down.
Yeah.
And now we have a timeout to talk about this. And I'm sure on the sidelines they go over all the possible alternatives there. And the offensive coordinator, David Marsh, has come up with some big plays. That call to Ja'Cory Howard was a great call for the touchdown that they got.
Yeah.
So
no question.
Let us pause for a timeout now while they have a break on the field. Still 21-13, Jackson State out in front. SWAC football on ESPN is presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors, official sporting goods and outdoor retailer of the SWAC. Home Depot, proud sponsor of the SWAC, and by Nike. Fourth and 4 coming up for the TSU Tigers. This is a big play in the ball game. They're down 1 possession, so this is huge. 4th and 4. They put Leary in motion. He goes back the other way. And here comes Jace rolling to his left. He pulls up, and he's not getting... No, nice spin move, and I don't know if he got there. Look there. You can hear the crowd there. It just looked like they stopped him short. Big play by that Jackson State defense. Jeremiah Williams helping out on the play.
Yeah, it just didn't develop the way they want. And he cut inside right there, and they just cut him off. Did a good job of making sure he had nowhere to go.
Khalil Arrington with the big hit there, and so the Jackson State defense comes up with the biggest play of the ball game. They've also forced a couple of turnovers, and here they are on a 4th down, coming up with a big 4th down stop, not only to get the football back, but to shut down the TSU Tigers on what looked to be a really good drive.
Yeah, what we know, though, in this entire game. Texas Southern's not going to let that get to them. They're going to keep battling. They're going to keep fighting throughout this game. So they have stopped Jackson State before. They're going to try to get a stop right here. They can get a 3-and-out if you Union.
So Jackson State with the football, and Morgan keeps. Nice fake on the play, and he dives forward. It's going to have a short gain. Before number 38, Josiah Hardman, made the stop.
I was faked out big time. I thought Moultrie had it.
Well, his ball handling has improved. I'm talking about Morgan, Jacoby and Morgan. He's doing such a better job on that zone read with his fakes. So 2nd and 8. This time Moultrie does have it. Cuts back, and he cut back into traffic. And he's hit and taken down. Canary Simmons, one of the Tigers from TSU there to make the stop. A 5'10", 175-pound junior. Played his high school ball at Bel Air in Houston. His grandfather actually played at Houston also.
Oh, wow.
And his name was Canary.
Oh.
He actually played at Texas Southern.
Simmons had a good game there.
He has. And so they go to Moultrie again, and Moultrie is upended by Canary Simmons again, who gets into the backfield with another play.
So now you're going to have a big 4th down decision here, right? Or is that...
Let's see. It's
3rd down?
It says enough for the first down. On the field, they're saying he got just enough for the first down there to keep the drive going.
Wow.
Yeah, it's first down for the Tigers from Jackson State.
Good job getting there. I didn't think he got it.
So they're going to take their time. They put Seven McGee in motion, and they give it to Moultrie, and he's chased down in the backfield. Jacob Williams is there. Big number 97, Quentin Cook is there. I mean, number 2 is there, Bogarty. Just pick one of them. A lot of white shirts in the backfield.
Yeah, that's great team tackling. And again, they all just come flying in at the point of attack. He had nowhere to go at all.
So 2nd and 14 after the loss of 4 on the play. Jacobian with 3 receivers to his left. Dumps it off to Moultrie again. Moultrie almost loses his footing, regains himself, and makes a nice gain on the play. But they're really working the ball to Moultrie right now.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, a lot of credit to Moultrie to be able to keep that balance. That was a 6-7 yard difference between him falling and catching a knee there and then staying on his feet and getting that extra yard.
Now Moultrie will take a break as he comes off to the sideline. Looks like it's 3rd and 11 to go for the Tigers from Jackson State. Ahmad Miller in the backfield with Morgan. Morgan has time, and he fires. Ball is tipped up, and it's an incompleted pass. Jacob Williams almost coming up with an INT for the Texas Southern defense. Ja'Cory Benjamin on the coverage.
Benjamin has really, really played stout and tough. And again, a lot of credit to that Texas Southern defense. I feel like they have battled amongst all types of odds and things that have gone crazy, but they just keep battling. A big stop for Texas Southern. And again, let's see what kind of return they get. I've had a feeling for a little bit they may have a great return on the special teams.
Kick away by Matt Knoll. Leary back to return, and he's caught and dropped at the 15. So great coverage by Jackson State. Leary really could not get going that time. And you see Seven McGee coming off, and he's taking some congratulations there. 21-13. We'll be right back. Jackson State out in front. The sonic boom of the South trying to bring this one home for the Jackson State Tigers. They lead it 21-13. Texas Southern, though, has been game for a lot of this in the second half. They've come out ready to play, and they have the football. They're ready to go with 4:41 left in this game. The handoff is to Owens, and Owens tries to crack back inside, but there's not been any room at the end for Ladarius Owens. They've done a good job on him in the second half.
Yeah, they have, and he's made some happen, but I'm surprised they haven't seen Corey Howard come back on out. I mean, he came in there with just a few carries and very successful.
So Jace Wilson, one possession down. It's a 21-13 game. He has a 2nd and 8 as he's trying to put the Tigers in the end zone. And now we have a whistle on the field to stop play.
Texas Southern has the ball. With the Jackson State band, please refrain from playing. The Texas Southern has the ball. This is your second warning. Thank you.
I didn't know you got 2 warnings.
Well, I guess the band's so good, you got to give them 2 warnings, not just one. Right? So next time, though, you'll see a penalty go. Shutting that band up here while Texas Southern has the ball.
So a gain of 2 by Owens on that first carry. And here comes Owens again. Cuts it back inside. He's going to pick up 2, maybe 3 more. As they try to grind it down, as the clock continues to grind down. How many times have we heard that this year? Will the so-and-so band please refrain from playing while so-and-so has the ball?
That's right, yeah.
It's a tradition, though. I mean, I think that's a good thing.
It's
a tradition. You need to have it at least once a game.
Oh, heck yeah. And say, oops, I'm sorry. I didn't notice. Sorry, our drum line plays every time you pick up the ball.
When your band is that good, you got to give them some slack, man. Cut them some slack. So here's Wilson. Fires over the middle, and he had his man. It's Ian Means, and you could see the frustration on Means' face there as he had a couple of steps. The ball just too long.
Just not in the right spot there. Or it had to be aired up a little bit more so he could run and adjust. Wow. And I don't know if Means, maybe his head turned for the last moment. If it had turned earlier, he may have been able to make an adjustment on that play. But that was a touchdown throw. That was a game changer right there.
It's a fine line between the ones you hit and the ones you don't. He missed that one. That could have been a possible 6. He missed 2 in the first half. That could have been possible. Just think about what that would have done to this game.
Yeah, and now you got to punt.
Now you got to punt it to Seven McGee, who's back to return the punt. We do have an injured Jackson State player down on the field. He was lining up, and then he just went straight to the ground, so I'm assuming it might be cramps.
Yeah, that's what that looks like. He literally, it looked like his whole right leg just tightened up on him, and he was sick.
So 3:23 to go in the ball game, and there's going to be a lot of pressure, if you talk about this from a Texas Southern standpoint, on that defense again to get the ball back to them. And on the other side, Jackson State's going to try to just run out the clock.
Well, I think what they need to go, and I'm assuming Coach T.C. Taylor saying, look, gentlemen, right before the half, we took it all the way from the 6-yard line and took it all the way to touchdown. We have that type of drive right now. Let's just keep the ball and keep going. And you challenge your offensive linemen, you challenge your running backs, right? And you tell them to be sure-handed, and everyone hang on to the ball. But we're going to drive this. We're going to take this ball out. We're going to take the game out.
That was Isaias Guthrie coming off on his own power. Looks like he's pretty good there. He takes a sip of Gatorade, and it works wonders for those cramps.
Yeah, I don't know. He looked like he was bowing on Academy Awards or something. I'm not quite sure.
So Guthrie's okay, and TSU will punt it away. It will be Christian Avalar out to kick the football, but Jackson State will want to talk about it for a second first. And something T.C. Taylor wasn't too happy about.
You know what he's not happy about? People not paying attention and realizing that he came out. Now someone else has to go in. So he was. Now he has to call a timeout on the punt return. He is he's let it out. He's all right. He's moving forward. But man, that'll take you off.
TC is always cool though, man. He's one of those coaches. He just looks cool.
I just love how much passion he has for football and his team and his school. He loves Jackson State. He wants it to be where it is. He wants every game to matter. He wants the intensity to be there. He wants to continue what Coach Prime went there and started. He says that was something that was a huge injection in the university. And he he believes in dominate. We've got to make a difference. This university can be a difference. And when he talks like that, I'm bought in. I think it's fantastic.
So Avalar will be back to punt the football away.
If you notice, Jackson State's in a basic prevent defense. They're like, we're going to make sure no trickery happens here. We don't care about a return.
So the kick is away, and it's going to bounce short, but takes a TSU bounce. There is a flag down. Actually, there are 2 flags down. So we will see what that's all about.
Maybe there's a flag bonus that I don't know about that's gone out there lately. Wow.
Illegal substitutions, defense. More than 11 players on the field at the snap. 5-yard penalty, result, first down.
So after the timeout, Jackson State still had, he didn't even say how many. He just said more than 11 players on the field.
I will guarantee you Coach Taylor will have a wonderful time chewing on some people about that. And the reason why is in this game it may not wind up mattering, right? If they can do what they need to do. But that's what, you can't have those in critical situations.
Well, because it's going to push them even further back.
Yes. And again, you can tell right now guys are confused on who's going where.
So Jace Wilson?
You got 3:14 to close this thing out. And that's what they got to focus on.
So Jace Wilson will get another crack at it.
Yeah.
Because that's the first down. Yes.
Yeah, so that was huge.
The penalty, it's just that 1 minute you're punting the football away, then you get the penalty, and now you have it 1st and 10. Wow.
Wilson's pass complete.
That could be a game changer right there.
Yeah, I didn't realize they got the first down. That's my bad. I was so busy watching him on the sidelines being bad. I get it now.
Well, yeah, that's what the whole thing was. You had a punt, and you were about to get the ball on offense, and now you have to give it back to Texas Southern, and it gives Jace Wilson another chance because he had a guy streaking in the secondary just a few plays ago that he missed. So he'll have another shot.
Antonio Doyle on the tackle.
Yeah, see right here, you can see, guys, they lined up a prevent defense, but someone didn't tell the punt returner because the punt returner is back there as well. That's that 12th man you had. Boy, that'll drive you crazy as a coach.
It was a big penalty, and here comes Owens again, straight ahead. Picking up yardage as the clock ticks down to 2 minutes and 13 seconds and counting in this ball game. So Texas Southern may have to pick up the pace a little bit soon as we're about to go under 2 minutes to go in this game. Wilson looking to throw it. Fires underneath, has his man, and it's not going to be much. Johnson made the catch, and then he's cracked down after that by Guthrie. So a quick play, but he didn't get much there. Got the first down, though. Picked it up, called it a 1st and 10 for Texas Southern. Now they go back up the middle, and again, good response from that Jackson State defense. Owens is stopped by Jeremiah Williams.
Jeremiah Williams just stopped him cold. I thought there was going to be a flag on Jackson State for having too many men on the field right there. But
so we do have a timeout on the field now, so they'll talk about things. We're down to 1:38 to go in this game. Stick around, folks. We may have a fantastic finish brewing for you. We'll be right back. 21-13. Jackson State still out in front. we are down to the final 1 minute and 38 seconds. Jackson State leading Texas Southern University 21-13. But the Tigers from TSU have the football, so that means they have a chance. With 1:38 to go, and we mentioned before how many close games they've been involved in this year.
Yeah, we've done several games with Jackson State and also Texas Southern. And I think the thing that I've noticed about Texas Southern is every time we've seen them, they're better. Right? And this, to me, this game, watching their demeanor and their ability to put bad things behind them and keep playing, that is my biggest takeaway from Texas Southern today. They have not let little things annoy them where they just don't start executing. So what a battle here. We're going to go down to the wire.
2nd and 8 now for Texas Southern. Give us to Howard, and the big fella was hitting the backfield, spun away from that one, but then here come the Jackson State Tigers. That's a big stop, because all you did was lose precious seconds off the clock on that play.
And they just didn't let him get going.
No, not at all. So 3rd and 8, he got no gain on the play, so it's still 3rd and 8 for Texas Southern. Only 2 men on the line to rush the quarterback on this. Everybody dropped back. So Jace Wilson looking, and he fires, and it's incomplete. He had a man over there. That was Quay Davis, who had a chance to catch the ball and get the first down, but he's off target with the throw.
Yeah, now it's hey, it's why you play, right, to make plays.
We have 1:05 to go in the ball game, and it's all come down to this. 4th and 8 to keep this drive alive. Texas Southern on 4th down conversions, you can see, only 33% for the year.
Jackson State challenging them, kind of a man zone.
They backed off. It's a 3-man rush. And Jace completes his pass to Blanton, and it depends on the spot. It's all about the spot. Blanton thinks he has it, and yes, he does. Woo. First down for Texas Southern, so the drive is still alive, and now we may have a measurement coming up. TC may want to challenge the spot.
Well, no, you got a
injured player down at the bottom.
Yeah.
That was close.
Yeah, I think
that was very close, but we're down to 53 seconds, and they have the first down that keeps the drive alive, so there's still hope for Texas Southern University.
Sponsored by McCollum Physical Therapy.
We're closing in on our player of the game with 53 seconds to go. And here we go. Our player of the game.
Texas State.
Tonight's player of the game presented by
to
Gator. And it's going to be Morgan on the keeper, and he got it down near the quarterback. Fakes the handoff, passes on the outside, and it's a touchdown. Morgan keeps the football and run. So a 3-touchdown day for Jacobian Morgan. And for that, he's our Gatorade player of the game.
He has done it all, but this is the play of the game right here.
1st and 10 coming up, 53 seconds to go. For TSU, they fake it inside. Wilson steps up in the pocket. Wilson is going to keep. Now he slides down quickly. So Tigers from TSU now just shy of the 30-yard line. And we have another timeout on the field. That was a pretty good play by Wilson because he got there, got down quickly, didn't waste a lot of time, yet he picked up to make it a manageable situation.
Well, I think what he did really well there was, okay, I may have had an opportunity to throw a pass and maybe connect deeper, but I know I can get this first down, which gives us another 4 plays, right? Unless you have the sure thing, right there, it's all about getting the first down. And really, time at 41 seconds left in this game, you're going to have basically 4 shots to score.
Well, and he was decisive, and that's the thing about it. You can not be decisive and either do something crazy and turn it over or waste a lot of time. He just knew, he was very aware of the situation, got as much as he could, got down, stopped the clock. Now his team has 41 seconds with an opportunity to maybe tie this game.
Yeah, and Texas Southern has 1 timeout, I believe. If I'm accurate, they have 1 timeout left, so they got 1 to play with for 41 seconds.
So second down for Texas Southern University in the white jerseys. Jace Wilson looking deep. Now he gets away, and Wilson's going to keep again, and he dives forward. He's going to be down at about the 26-yard line. And the Tigers go quickly. Clock is down to 34 seconds. It'll start right after it's set, and it's rolling. So Wilson now will throw it again. Comes to the sidelines. Nice pass, and he's going to pick up the first down to Quay Davis.
This reception to the 15-yard line.
So the first down for Texas Southern University should stop the clock, and now it started again as soon as it was set. So we have 19 seconds to go, and the Tigers, they're knocking on the door of possibly tying this ball game and sending us to extra innings. Sending us to overtime.
World Series is over.
Yeah, that was over for me a long time ago, before this week. So here we go. 2nd and 10 now for another first down. Wilson steps up, and he's caught and dropped, and the ball is loose. And it's going to depend on whether they spot him down or not. It's picked up by Webb, who has the football.
Davis on the sack for the Tigers.
I think they're going to spot it down, and then Texas Southern's going to have to use their timeout.
Well, that's interesting, because that happened to Jace Wilson twice last week, where he just did not tuck the ball away. And let's see. His knee's down. So from that look, it appeared his knee was on the ground.
Yeah, and they marked it as a fumble by the quarterback in the recovery from Jackson State. So that's the call on the field, and as the normal pace of this game, we will review and stop the game and make it as cumbersome as possible to get through this thing.
That, just to reference what we were talking about just a couple of minutes ago, that thoroughly relates to the indecision.
Yes.
At this point of the game, you have to be decisive, make a decision, run, tuck the ball if you're running, and then hang on to it.
Yeah.
His knee was clearly down, but you need to not put yourself in this situation to where you're depending on a review.
And also, time is critical. You just throw it away, throw it out of bounds, right? Because even if he has the ball, it's down. They only have 10 seconds left. They'd have to line up, either wait, use another timeout, or line up real quick and try to down it again or run another play. You're basically either running your last play, and again, they would have called a timeout if they had to.
Well, this is the game right here. We got 10 seconds to go. So if it's Jackson State ball, it's game, set, match. We're done.
Yeah.
The Tigers from JSU have the win. If not, TSU will have 10 seconds to try to get the ball into the end zone.
Yeah, they're going to have, and again, as soon as they set the ball, they're going to roll it so that at least a second or two before the snap, they may have a quick out that they can run and then one in the end zone. That's about it.
There you see Jace Wilson on the sideline.
Yeah, their offense better be. They should be standing out there and getting ready, because once they set the ball.
Well, I mean, that's kind of the fact that he's on the sideline tells me something there too. I mean,
right, but we saw his knee. His knee was down. That ball was. I was wrong last time, so why not stay consistent?
Well, what a finish to this ball game. But like I said, these fantastic finishes are nothing new to Texas Southern University.
I don't think they'd call them fantastic.
After the woman on the field is reversed. The runner's knee was down on the 20-yard line. Texas Southern will take their last timeout to avoid the 10-second run. Timeout.
Yeah, so that's what happens. Texas Southern now is going to use their last timeout, so it didn't have a 10-second runoff. They'll have 10 seconds, no more timeouts, and they've got to score a touchdown and get a two-point conversion if they're going to take this game further.
Yeah, you have no choice, because if you don't, the game is over.
And quite honestly, here you got to tell your teammate right now, okay, here's what we're doing, guys. Right, we got to score. Here's 2 plays we're going to run. Right, here's let's get ahead of ourselves. We don't have time for anything else. And then if we go into conversion, and we're going to, at least coaches will know what they're going to do. But give them 2 plays and let them know what they're going to do.
Well, you would think with 10 seconds left, you could squeeze out 2 plays. You would hope that would be the situation with 10 seconds to go in the ball game.
Yeah, and the problem is if you run anything that doesn't cross the end zone, I don't think you can line up and run another play. And if you do, you probably have motion, some problem, the time will run off. So you really have to go 2 in the end zone, don't you think?
Oh, there's no doubt.
Yeah.
There's no doubt that everything has to be a pass into the end zone at this point.
Tiger fans, the game is on the line.
So the game is definitely on the line. And the one thing we do know, the Tigers are going to win this game, regardless. That's the one thing we're certain of. Everything else is up in the air. 10 seconds to go. It's second down, and the distance doesn't really matter. Ball resting on the 20-yard line. So Jace Wilson will throw it, cranks it, short, touchdown to King Blanton. So Jace Wilson comes up with a strike when he needed it the most, and he had King Blanton streak, across the middle on the slant, and he put it right on the money, and it's a touchdown for Texas Southern. Now, they need the 2-point conversion to send this game to overtime.
Boy, do you see how Wilson just stood there, planted the great offensive blocking there, allowed him the time to just put that right on the money. And Blanton just hauls it in, gets across the end zone for the touchdown.
Did you see the difference when he was decisive with that? I mean, it made all the difference in the world. So here comes the play of the game. Tigers from Texas Southern going for 2, trying to tie this ball game up. Jace Wilson at quarterback. Fires into the end zone, and it's going to be intercepted. And the Jackson State defense comes away with a steal and saves this ball game for T.C. Taylor and the Tigers. We have flags down, but that ball was intercepted by Tim Stewart in the end zone. And, of course, Jace Wilson trying to hit it to Ladarius Owens. Owens turned out. The pass came in.
Yeah, it just wasn't there. The play wasn't there, and too much pressure. Credit to Jackson State. They came at him, and they got there, right? I mean, that's exactly what you do. Great football game. I mean, I have to give a lot of credit to Texas Southern and the way they battled, and also Jackson State. They took advantage of every opportunity they had and closed this game out with a victory.
Well, T.C. Taylor called it earlier this week. He said, I'm not even looking at Texas Southern's record. He goes, this is a team with a lot of talent. I'm telling my team they cannot sleep on the Tigers from Texas Southern. Now, let me get you to wrap this up. Give me some of your final thoughts on this ball game. What an exciting game it was. They put 3 seconds back on the clock. So Jackson State will have to take a knee. And, of course, we'll see after the penalties penalties have to be sorted out first.
Yeah. It'll be all on the kickoff. Remember, that was just a 2-point conversion. So they'll kick it off, whether it was squib kick or outside kick is what Texas Southern will try. And I don't know if they'll have any seconds left to do anything, even if they recover, quite frankly.
We could see that again. It would be great to take another look at it, because I can't tell if Owens got knocked off his route or if he turned to the outside and Jace Wilson threw it to the inside. But Owens ended up on the outside, and Wilson clearly was throwing that ball thinking he was going to turn up the field.
Right, but I think what Owens saw was it was wide open to the outside. There was plenty of room. And again, I think you're right. A little bit miscommunication, and right now we come down to an onside kick. And honestly, I don't know that Texas Southern will have any time to do anything with it if they do recover.
So Gustavo Romero will handle the kicking duties here. Hits it and is recovered by the Tigers from
live sports, thousands of live events, ESPN Plus originals, the exclusive home of the complete 30 for 30 library, exclusive access, top leagues and tournaments, and the biggest names in the game. ESPN Plus. Live sports. Thousands of live events. ESPN Plus originals. The exclusive home of the complete 30 for 30 library. Exclusive access. Top leagues and tournaments. and the biggest names in the game. ESPN Plus. Live sports. Thousands of live events. ESPN Plus Originals. The exclusive home of the complete 30 for 30 library. Exclusive access. Live sports. Thousands of live events.